Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. With 3 straight wins, the young Bengals' confidence is rising game by game. But to upset the Bills today, the Bengals know they'll have to throw the ball a lot. No one for the last month and a half has been able to run on Buffalo successfully. But the Bengals, Beasley, as you know, feel they have the talent to throw the ball a lot and well.
Well, quarterback Jeff Blake and Carl Pickens have been the best touchdown scoring combination in the league over the last couple of years. You see that Jeff Blake is putting up some terrific numbers. I expect him to roll away from Bruce Smith today. Carl Pickens has 62 catches already, 4 touchdowns. But, Don, I think the secret weapon might be the play of second-year wide receiver David Dunn working the middle of Buffalo's defense, and this passing team catches a break with the great weather.
The Bills have really been coming on. They have a locker room mantra. Offense roll, defense hold, special teams be special. I think this is their best defense yet, but it takes a hit today. All-pro linebacker Bryce Paup is out with a groin pull, but there's still some great ones in that Buffalo D.
Absolutely. Now, as you mentioned, they've held over the last 7 games opponents to just 2.7 yards per rush attempt. That is excellent. The addition of Chris Spielman, 116 tackles already, but Bruce Smith is the key like always. He is so special. 9 sacks already, a couple of game-clinching plays, but, you know, he gives a lot of credit to nose tackle Ted Washington in the middle, a 330-pound immovable object.
And there's a lot of Cleveland Brown fans here today. This is Browns Day as the Bills salute their nearby neighborhood, currently without a football team, but soon to have one. Very shortly, the confident Bengals against the favored Buffalo Bills. Marv Levy, the Bills coach, always a man with quotes on the locker room wall. One most recently from General MacArthur, Eisenhower, about victory and morale, and his team has had a couple of terrific victories of late. The biggest one in a long time last week, upsetting the Eagles at Philadelphia, and Bruce Coslett, unbeaten as the head coach of the Bengals, 3-0. It's Christie kicks off for the Bills. This is Jeff Hill for Cincinnati. And Hill is driven back hard. A blockbuster hit put on him by Sean Moran, a rookie defensive end from Colorado State. As we now look at the Cincinnati Bengals on offense, Willie Anderson rising as a left tackle. He was the #1 pick in the last draft out of Auburn for the Bengals. They start another rookie at right guard in Blackman. Jeff Blake, the quarterback, he's got the long arm and the people to throw it to in Pickens and Scott. Hawthorne, the blocker. Tony McGee, also an excellent blocker at tight end. Almost a sellout, close to 80,000 here in Buffalo. On first down, as the Bengals go with the long count, we might have had Willie Anderson flinch on the left side there, Beasley, as he's got Bruce Smith across from him, or maybe Smith left early. We'll see. It looks like
the snap. Ball start. Number 71 of the offense.
So already the presence of the great Bruce Smith is working on the rookie, Willie Anderson.
Well, he's got to be nervous. I mean, this is the biggest assignment of his life, the best player that he's played against, and probably the best he'll play against over the next few years. So a little bit nervous, but he'll settle down.
On a 1st and 15 play, the Bengals set their offense. They get a break with the weather, much milder than normal and not a lot of wind. Here's a blitz, and the ball is just lofted on the side as Spielman came on a blitz. So Buffalo's defense is very obvious early. There's a penalty marker down again against Cincinnati.
Intentional grounding. Number 8.
So Blake, loss of down. The Bengals rattled early, but I'll tell you this about this team. We've seen in the last 3 weeks, Beasley, things might go bad for them early, but they come back.
Well, they've come back to win the last 3 weeks. Look at Spielman coming clean. I mean, that is something that you game plan, you see it, and it works. Cincinnati was trying to set up a screen out there to the left, so Blake thought he was okay throwing the ball away in that direction, but he threw it too far and before the screen began to develop.
This the opening sequence, so Bruce Coslett goes to his drawing board and checks out the play calls. What do you do here against one of the best defenses in pro football? You need 23 for the first down, 2nd and 23.
Well, this is the situation that Cincinnati wanted to stay away from. Now you've got young Willie Anderson facing Bruce Smith in his situation. 3rd and long, you know he's going to rush. Now they should help him by sending a back over to that side.
So 2nd down arises. As Coslett now has sent the play call in, working with his offensive coordinator Kenny Anderson, a double wide receiver set to the near side. They go to the draw play, and Garrison Hurst gets a little bit, not a lot. He's out to the 12-yard line as we look at the Bills on defense, a group that over the last 7 weeks allowing less than 3 yards a rush. Ted Washington, as you pointed out, Beasley, has been a tremendous player in the nose. Bruce Smith says he covers for a lot of mistakes when people gamble. Linebackers are very good. But as we mentioned, Bryce Paup is out. Matt Stevens, they'll be looking at him deep, a rookie starting at strong safety. Blake feels that there's stuff open all over the middle of the field against the Buffalo pass defense. He'll need it now. On 3rd and 20. Swings it out, and he's too high. Another penalty marker's down. Now this one fired in by the umpire in the defensive secondary. Could it be a hold? Well, we'll see.
Don, Bruce Smith once again came clean. That qualifies as a quarterback pressure. So Blake had to get rid of it quicker than he really wanted to. That's how Smith changes a game. I mean, he's unbelievable and has been for 12 years.
On offense, penalties decline, 4th down.
Okay, the Bengals tried that extra man trick. When you're trying to block a lot of pressure, you bring in that 12th man, but they didn't get away with that time.
Jeff Burris is back now for the Bills, standing at his 45-yard line, and Lee Johnson ready to punt the ball. He's been one of the AFC's long-distance boomers again this season. He rockets the ball down a long spiral that Burris fields at his 45. Takes it up the middle, and Jeff Burris is in open field. And the former Notre Dame star is down to the 23-yard line, and a penalty marker comes in after the tackle. So the Bills starting fast on their home field. Tom Tomovi, a rookie linebacker, makes the stop.
Boy, that looked like perfect coverage. It looked like the Bengals were in great position.
Face mask, 5 yards. Number 11 of the kicking team, 5 yards, 1st down.
Boy, watch this return. I mean, I thought they had Burris bottled up, but he just picks the exact angles, a couple of missed tackles, and a very good quickness. And then right at the end, there was a face mask. So very sloppy game so far for Cincinnati.
And the Bills about to take an early lead. They're already in easy field goal range for one of the best kickers ever in the National Football League, Steve Christie. Now they plan to take it in. Jim Kelly, who was really despondent after his poor play in the loss to Miami when he threw that interception that was run back by Buckley for a game-deciding touchdown, has really rallied now. They've gone back much more to the K-gun offense that he likes so well, calling more of his own plays. And he sets his Bills on a 1st and 10 play, and they go to the run, and Thurman Thomas breaks into the secondary, and he's down to the 8-yard line. Artie Smith brings him down, but there's a gain on the play of 8 yards. As we look at the offensive line of the Bills, Thurman Thomas running well. He's got a good backup too. Tasker, they feel, is one of the most important players on the team from an offensive set. He was primarily a special teams player. He's been to the Pro Bowl 5 times as a special teamer. Now the handoff, and Thurman Thomas is going to take it down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Buffalo.
Thurman Thomas doesn't need much of a hole. I mean, here he jumps through the tiniest crack, running behind Fina. Super blocked by the up backs and the offensive line, and Thomas just jumps into the hole and takes it down to the 1. Great run.
Now extra tight ends come in as Thomas, who is such a patient runner, he waits for his blocking angles to form and then makes his cut. And the Bills point blank right now. Point blank range, 1st and goal from just outside the 1-yard line. And now Kelly calls a timeout as the Bengals showed him something he wasn't ready for, not wanting to blow a touchdown opportunity.
You buy the new Dodge. It's about change. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. By New York Light, the company you keep. And by Hertz, for business, for pleasure. Nobody does it exactly like Hertz.
Big dog, even bigger than we knew him in Cleveland. As we look at the defensive front of the Cincinnati Bengals, Copeland and Wilkinson The two best. Wilkinson having a terrific year. Linebackers, big, tough, active. Their challenge now. Ashley Ambrose leads the American Conference with 7 interceptions. Wilkinson, the defensive tackle, with 6 sacks already. Big numbers
for a big man.
I'm an inside player, especially. Yeah, he's big, 330, but he's really risen to the levels they thought he'd be at when they drafted him #1 in the whole draft out of Ohio State. The Bills, though, with 1st and goal. The give to Thurman Thomas, working near the goal line, but not in as he's thrown back. Defensive front of the Bengals in a gap defense. Linebackers up tight, knock him down.
Well, you see here they've tried a little trap block. You see the tight end Lonnie Johnson coming down. He traps on the inside on the nose people, on the inside tackles. Didn't work, though. Very good defensive play by Copeland and Big Daddy Dan Wilkinson inside.
And the strong safety Gracie Walker coming over the top. 2nd and goal Bills on their first possession. Thurman Thomas gets close. No signal. Bill signal touchdown, but the linesman says no. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Boy, this was very close, but Bo Orlando is able to come up. It was a great second effort. Look at this. It's blocked well at the point, and look at the pressure that the Bengals put. They really get inside. Look at Bo Orlando. He really kind of cattle wrestles Thurman Thomas down. Gets a hand inside the shoulder pads and drags him down.
Now will it be behind Kent Hall, but Kelly goes in a sneak. No, he goes to his runner, and Thurman Thomas over the top is in. And the favored Bills take the lead. A familiar scenario for the Cincinnati Bengals under Bruce Coslett. They always seem to get behind, but don't count them out. They came from behind last week 3 different times against the AFC champion Steelers. 11:26 to go in the first quarter, and an over-the-top dive by Thurman Thomas. And the Buffalo Bills take a 6-0 lead, soon to be 7-0, as snap and set down and kick are good by Christie. So Thurman Thomas, with his 8th rushing touchdown, gives the Bills a 7-0 lead as the NFL on NBC continues.
Well, you see the scoring drive, 5 plays, 17 yards. They ran 2 minutes and 26 seconds off the clock. And when you look at the play, a smart job by Buffalo. They put the tight end, number 87, Robert Coombs, in the backfield, and watch the lead block that he gets for Thermal. So Thurman Thomas easily, with a nice protection up front, into the end zone.
He ripped Tom Tumulty, knocked him back, and now the Bills kick off for a 2nd time in the game as Steve Christie tees the ball up. Wind is always a factor, particularly as the fall wears on in Western New York. The winds are swirling as Christie kicks off a high spinning kick, and Jeff Hill, very fast, comes up on the ball, crosses the 20, and gets ahead to the 26-yard line. And it'll be interesting to see what the Bengals go to now, as the tackle is made for the Bills by Raymond Jackson. Denver on an Elway touchdown pass with an early lead at New England, where the Broncos won last year by 34 points. 2 NFC East rivals locked up at Philadelphia. Chicago up on Kansas City at KC. As here it is 7-0, the Bills in the lead, capitalizing on a difficult Cincinnati opening drive when they had 2 major penalties, and then a good punt return by Jeff Burris set it all up. Blake makes a look, stands in and goes down. He tripped. Sam Rogers was on him. Feeding frenzy here, Beasley, as this crowd is really on the Bengals also.
Yeah, the Bengals are going to have to change everything. You see, they try to get a man out to stop Rogers. They pull people, but they couldn't get him out there in time, so he put a lot of pressure right in front of Jeff Blake's face. They're going to have to roll Blake out. They're going to have to move the pocket to give him time to get some passes off.
Those linebackers come up. They've been blitzing. They don't want to give Blake time to throw deep, as he's got the weapons to get deep. Here's Blake now, the quick out, and slapped back right at him by David White, number 51. He was looking at a tight end who was flexed out, Marco Battaglia.
Boy, this is an incredible show. Now, he's replacing Bryce Pop, and here he is. He'll come in. Watch how quickly he puts pressure. A three-step drop and you can't get the ball off. That is discouraging. Boy, that's quick.
They're off the ball like bullets. It's just unbelievable, the intensity and the quickness of this Bills defense. They say it's the best they've ever had in Buffalo. And if the offense holds up its end of the deal, it could be back in the big game at the end of January. Straight ahead, a diving try. Let's see where the spot is. They're coming in. They're going to spot it a couple of inches short, at less than 6 inches short, as Jeff Blake takes it himself.
Boy, that's a great call. Now, this is an audible at the line of scrimmage. They spread the offense, and look at this. There's a nice little natural alley, and so Jeff Blake wisely calls his own number.
He went down a little early. If he kept with it a little more, he'd have had it. And now Lee Johnson's back on to punt again as Jeff Burris is back again for the Bills. It's a first down as Eric Bieniemy runs the ball across midfield and gets it down to the 47-yard line. So the Bengals make a gutty call. They could be out of the game early if they had not worked, but it does work big time. Steve Tasker makes the tackle, and the Bengals now roll on.
Well, I love Eric Bieniemy. Every time you call his number, here he is right here, he produces. Now, he's got to catch this, find a little seam. It looked dangerous right there, but boy, he finds the opening, and that's the biggest play of this game early for Cincinnati. Eric Bieniemy is something else.
Gabe Northern almost had him. That's the guy who blocked the punt and ran it in for a touchdown last week against the Eagles, rookie Gabe Northern. But that was a 17-yard gain by Bieniemy on the fake punt. Here goes Jeff Blake throwing on the run. He had room to go, but he triggers the ball and comes in high at the rookie Marco Battaglia. Ted Washington, the nose tackle, getting pressure up the middle for the Bills.
Jeff Blake is going to have to use everything that he's got. He's going to have to run the ball. You see the sacks, Buffalo with 27 this season. Blake passing right now under that tremendous pressure. 0 for 4, 0 yards.
Blake felt when we talked to him yesterday there's going to be big plays open over the middle of the field. We'll see if he finds any receivers there. Here's the rush. Here's the throw, and the catch is made by the great Carl Pickens, who takes it ahead to the 41-yard line of the Bills. And that'll bring up third down and about 4 as linebacker Chris Spielman is on the stop.
You know, this is there's Pickens in motion. He's going to come right over the middle. And as you just mentioned, Don, they feel like right over the middle there's some room to work. And so that's the area that they attack. But Cincinnati is just, they're in trouble the whole time. So they've got to figure out a way to settle down this offense.
Watch David Dunn at the top of the screen. They're going to be going to him over the middle soon. This is Dunn in motion. It's back. They go to a reverse, and here comes Carl Pickens with a blocker. Pickens working his way, and he's cut down short of the first down. An excellent defense by the Bills. Marlo Perry, one of the linebackers, as the Bengals and Coach Kazak go into their bag of tricks early.
Well, Don, that's what you have to do. See, Buffalo is attacking so ferociously, in ears pent back and just flying at the football. So they've got to do something to slow down the rush. They'll add a reverse, some trick plays. That'll make you think as a defense just a little bit.
Lee Johnson steps into punt, hits it down, and angles it to the near sideline. Looks like it's well done as the ball caroms out of bounds, and we'll see where they spot the ball. As it is going to be at about, he continues to walk to the 16-yard line is where the Bills will start their second drive with a 7-0 lead. The Bills have just lost running back Tim Tyndale for the rest of the game with an unspecified knee injury, so they're very thin there with just Thurman Thomas and Derek Holmes.
But they are two good ones. You see, Thomas has got 805 yards rushing already, and a nice change of pace is Derek Holmes. He's a big back, averaging 3.6, 4 touchdowns already, but Thurman Thomas is off to another great year. There's a look at Derek Holmes. He had 122 yards rushing against the Redskins, so when they need him, they've got a good one in holding.
Talk about Thurman Thomas in his 9th year out of Oklahoma State. He's had 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
That's amazing.
And at one point he wanted the ball every time they ran it, but now he realizes under the persuasion of Coach Levy that you're going to play a lot longer in this team, in this league, if you share the load. And he's been doing that, and Derek Holmes has been a producer. The Bills with a 7-0 lead start now at their 16-yard line with their second possession. Kelly takes a drop, running up the middle, and Jim Kelly on the run gets the ball out to the 22 or 3-yard line. John Copeland brings him down. Kelly, for his lack of speed, Beasley, is averaging 4.5 a carry this year.
Really, he's got 56 yards rushing. He had a 22-yard run, and he's got a touchdown run for the season. So he'll do whatever he has to do.
Now they go right into alignment without the huddle. This is the K-gun offense. For the run they go, and running hard is Thurman Thomas as he takes on Bengal tacklers led by Tim Johnson, and he's knocked down at the 26-yard line, very close to a first down. 2nd and 3rd and short it'll be.
You know, Jim Kelly was really down a few weeks ago. He wasn't playing very well. He convinced the coaches to go back to this K-gun. It's something that he's more comfortable with. It fits his personality. He's in charge. He's calling the plays and very aggressive. But the K-gun has changed, Don. It's more of a running formation now. They've run the ball more than they pass it, and that's strange for Buffalo.
Well, they've gone to they've passed about half as often as they've run in the last couple of games. Both big wins as Thomas runs here. They did get a good spot and got a first down. That was a first down carry, and the tackle by cornerback Jimmy Spencer, who's playing with a banged up shoulder. See as Denver jumps out now to a 14-0 lead at New England. Broncos get home field. They're going to be tough to keep out of the Super Bowl.
Well, they're good everywhere. Defense, offense, and Elway is having his best season ever.
Now Kelly is sacked by Artie Smith as he breaks through, and he's knocked down back at the 22-yard line. So big Artie Smith.
Artie can run. You see that?
Sir, he's getting off. Take some congratulations. They go to a pass rush defense.
Well, that was big. I mean, they need some big plays to Cincinnati to calm down this situation.
And that brings up 3rd down and long now for the Bills. The first time they've been in that difficulty. It is 3rd down and 14. Kelly against a blitz, stands in, and they get him again. And Kelly is at grounding. No, they rule it's incomplete. There's a receiver in the area, tight end Lonnie Johnson, but the Bills will now have to punt it as the Bengals settle down and play some good defense.
Well, this is real good pressure. Big Daddy coming off the line hard, and then they get a Spencer with the blitz. Jimmy Spencer coming off the corner, putting a lot of pressure.
There's Chris Moore back to punt now for the Bills. Excellent net yardage every year. Very few of his punts are returned. That's why they like him so much. Gets a lot of height on the ball. And he does it here. High spiral downfield. This is Corey Sawyer. Fair catching the ball. As again, a Moore punt is not returned. The Bengals down 7-0 will start at their 27-yard line on this their 3rd possession. Trailing the Bills 7-0. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese back at Orchard Park, New York, where the Bills go on defense, leading the game 7-0.
You know, this rushing defense for Buffalo has been very impressive. They started out the year struggling just a little bit, but over the last 7 games, look at this number. Now that's impressive. 2.7 per attempt allowed by Buffalo's defense, and that's a large test. 7 games.
And there's the man who designs the defense, the former Broncos head coach, Bum Phillips' son, Wade Phillips, who is going to be a head coach again in the NFL, doing a terrific job with the Bills defense, which is also playing great pass defense today. Blake's only 1 for 5 for 6 yards throwing the ball.
Well, we know that second chances for coaches sometimes work out. It's working out for Bruce Cosler.
There's a guy that the Bills would love to have in their defense, Bryce Paup, the NFL Defensive Player of the Year last season. But out today with a groin muscle pull. It's been bothering him for several weeks.
6 sacks already. He's a great one.
Bengals go to the run on first down, and Garrison Hurst takes it down to the 33-yard line. For an update on Denver, New England, we go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Don, Denver owns the NFL's #1 offense. It's on display in Foxborough. John Elway to Terrell Davis, 15 yards and a touchdown. Then the Bronco defense intercepted Drew Bledsoe, and Davis went 10 yards for his second TD of the day. The Broncos leading New England 14-0, still in the first quarter, Don.
Thank you, Greg. The Broncos rolling. Here's Garrison Hurst running into open field for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he angles to the far sideline. And the Bengals get their first big offensive gain of this day as he's finally run out of bounds by Thomas Smith, but there's a gain of 21 yards on the play.
And see, this is Bruce Coslin. He was one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. He figures out what Buffalo is doing and comes up with the line of plays that actually work. So the last couple of plays, very good. That time they allowed Willie Anderson to suck back and allow Bruce Smith to come on around, and they ran through that vacancy.
Yeah, Coslin told us yesterday they were going to run right at Bruce Smith. Blake stands in, tip ball, and very close to a pick as Ted Washington again is crushing up the middle, just moving people out like a road grader.
This guy's good. He's right down the middle. It's David White on the outside with pressure. And look at Washington right up the middle. Pressure up the middle, quarterbacks will tell you, is the worst thing that can happen. When it's coming around from the outside, from the defensive ends, you can step up. That's what makes a pocket.
Yep, when it comes that way, right up the middle, there's nowhere to go. And 2nd and 10 arises for the Bengals. Blake. Looks like he gets a little time, pump faking, now fires up the middle, and the ball is dropped at the 31-yard line. He put it on the hands, but came in a bit low to tight end Tony McGee.
Well, number 24, Kurt Schultz, read that all the way and almost came up with a pick. That was a great break on the ball. It would have been a great catch. He had to dive to get it.
Coslin had a lot of success against the Buffalo defense when he was the head coach for 4 years of the Jets. He knows this team well.
Now watch Schultz come in here. See him step in front of McGee. He almost picks it off.
The Bills will be coming on a blitz now. 3rd down and 10. Here's the blitz. Blake caught, thrown down back at the 43-yard line. They shot everybody, and Ken Irvin had a clear track to the quarterback, and the Bengals will have to punt again.
Boy, this is a tough situation. Look at number 27 on the outside, Ken Irvin. They weren't expecting him to come. He was unaccounted for, unblocked, untouched. Look at him. Say they weren't even looking at the guy. So Blake has nowhere to go and nothing to do. And if Irvin hadn't been there, guess who was there? Bruce Smith, as he's been for 12 years.
Bruce Smith coming hard from the other side as Lee Johnson punts again for the Bengals. Hits a high punt downfield that Burris backpedals to his 6-yard line for. Jeff Burris looking for room to run, and finally he's taken down at the 7. So excellent special teams play led by David Dunn, who last week ran a kickoff back 90 yards for a touchdown against the Steelers and also caught 5 passes for 73. Next Saturday at the special time of 12:30 Eastern, the tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC Sports. Watch as Lou Holtz goes for his 100th victory as head coach of the Fighting Irish. And he goes against the upset-minded Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. That's Rutgers versus Notre Dame next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern time right here on NBC. The Bills coming in with a 7-3 record, tied for the division lead with New England. Jim Kelly takes a look, quick out. He's got his man, Andre Reed, who's the most prolific pass catcher in Bills history. And Andre Reed's ahead for a first down on that quick pitch play out to the 22-yard line. 14-yard gain.
Andre Reed's got 43 catches already, 660 yards, 3 touchdowns. He is a dangerous man. Still a dangerous guy.
Still can get deep. Kelly now takes a look, hands off to Thurman Thomas. He's forced wide and finds room to go, and Thurman Thomas keeps on working ahead for a gain of 13 yards and a Bills first down again. John Fina, number 70, the left tackle, with a big block on that play to lead Thurman Thomas.
Well, watch big number 70 here. See him folding. It's the old play that the Washington Redskins used to run called the counter tray. They pull Fina from the backside all the way around. You've got to be a great athlete to get there as a lineman, and Fina gets it done.
Linebacker Rico McDonald of the Bengals said the Bills ran that play 25 times last week against the Eagles, pulling people and running to the right, to the defense's left. Thurman Thomas on a first down carry advances the ball to about the 37-yard line. Couple of yards.
That's some impressive numbers he's putting together already. 40 yards rushing on 9 attempts and a touchdown.
He's up to 845 rushing for the season. Here's a throw and a catch by Andre Reed. And they're going to rule he was out of bounds. Both feet weren't down.
Well, that was really close because Jimmy Spencer almost got underneath this ball. See Jimmy Spencer almost underneath it. Another step.
The Bengals, a phenomenal intercepting team. They have 23 interceptions this season. The Bills, despite their good record, have only 6 interceptions. Kelly takes a look, goes to Thurman Thomas. They pull people near side, and look at Thurman Thomas find his way ahead for another first down out to the 48-yard line.
This is a very complicated play, Don. Watch the lineman, watch the handoff. It looks like it's going to be a draw straight ahead, but look, he stops and then immediately comes out on an outside sweep. You have to have very athletic offensive linemen. Number 70, John Fina. Number 60, Jerry Ostrowski, a first-year starter for this team. That is a very complicated play and well run.
And now middle linebacker Steve Tovar, a very integral part of the Bengals defense, is down, shaken up.
Well, that would hurt, Don. The guy's got 98 tackles already, 2 interceptions, 1 sack. Leads the team in tackles every year. They got to hope he's okay.
A rookie from the University of Pittsburgh, Tom Tumulty, backs him up. The ball advanced out to the 49-yard line.
Okay, the lower part of your screen, look at the holding down here. See the hole right there, and then Tovar coming in right here at the bottom part of your screen. That's where he gets a little banged up. There's another look at Tovar coming in late. Somehow back in the back there, he gets his legs tangled up. Oh, he's walking okay. That's a good sign.
Yeah, he'll be back. Steve Tovar in his 4th year out of Ohio State. Jim Kelly. He is in his 11th season as a Bill, but you'll remember he also played with the Houston Gamblers of the U.S. Football League before coming to Buffalo. Now Kelly with a timing throw to Andre Reed. They're playing way off him. And Andre Reed is ahead on a first down play for a gain of 10 yards and another first down.
Buffalo looks really sharp, and there's a look at the space in between cornerback and wide receiver. That's a little bit too much respect. Now they gambled by sending Bo Orlando up. They thought Kelly might throw to the tight end, and Bo couldn't get back out underneath the pass.
Hand off, and Derek Holmes runs it up the middle on first down, gets close to the Bengals 37-yard line where Tim Johnson tackles him. Marv Levy is a great psychological warrior for the Buffalo Bills, and dressing his team this week, he talked about they went out and upset the Pittsburgh Steelers last Sunday, and that's a team that beat us badly this year, the team that went to the Super Bowl last year. You better be ready for the Bengals, and he's got the Bills very ready. Handoff going wide is Derek Holmes, and they catch him in the backfield for a substantial loss.
James Francis reading that play from start to finish. And Holmes makes the mistake. Watch how deep he backs up in the backfield. See him go backwards right there? I mean, there's no way he's going to run around Francis, and that lost an extra 5 yards.
Francis, a huge defensive linebacker at 6'6", 260, and a former basketball star at Baylor. And now Kelly goes to the draw play. Here's Derek Holmes, and he's still running. Derek Holmes is down to the 37-yard line on 3rd and long. He is well short of the first down as Francis again sheds the block and makes the tackle. And do the Bills go for a long field goal try here?
Don, I want you to watch the foot pumping action of Derek Holmes. This is what makes him good. Look at that. See, watch him keep driving, keep pumping, keep pumping. That's why he is so good. He's also a big back at 226 pounds, 6 foot tall.
So rather than try a 51-yard field goal with a gusting wind, the Bills are setting up on 4th down and 6.
Oh, they got Big Daddy to jump. So now, Kelly, the veteran, Don, gets Big Daddy, the 3rd-year man, to jump offside.
Prior to the snap, encroachment. Number 99 of the defense, 5 yards.
Dale Hamer, our referee, another flag against the Bengals. So now it will be 4th down and about a yard for the first down. And the Bills keeping that offense out. And they have Derek Holmes in the backfield.
And that's a huge difference. It's almost like calling a play. You know, Kelly, bark it out, see if you can pull him.
Derek Holmes gets the call, and he has a first down for the Bills. So the young Bengals again misfire a penalty, gets 5 for the Bills, and then the short run is good for the first down, and the Bills leading 7-0. Drive on as the first quarter winding out, down to 22 seconds to play. Kelly again in alignment without a huddle. Derek Holmes. He's hit out the line of scrimmage. Got very little, if any at all, on the final play of the first quarter as Tim Johnson and Big Daddy Wilkinson, the 2 defensive tackles, got him. So the Bills, who have dominated play, lead by a 7-0 margin after the first 15 minutes as the NFL on NBC continues.
You know, the big difference, Don, is Buffalo is sustaining drives with 7 first downs. Both teams struggling when it comes to passing, but the K-gun is no longer a passing situation for Jim Kelly. It's a running team now. And then look at the last 2 games, rushing 91 times, passing only 46. Today it's 16 runs and 5 passes. So Kelly is calling his plays, but he is calling running plays.
And they keep the Cincinnati defense on the field a long time with this ball control run offense. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Here's Kelly with a quick drop, gets some time, lost the ball, and finds his man, the tight end Lonnie Johnson, fights his way ahead. It looks like he has a first down for the Bills as Kelly is on target. Kelly coming in with very un-Jim Kelly-like numbers, 5 touchdowns and 13 interceptions this year, coming in with a 61 quarterback rating. Did have a rating down in the low 40s after he struggled with the last 2 weeks. They've played strong on offense. Here is a handoff to Thurman Thomas on first down. And he takes it close to the 16-yard line.
Well, clearly the first thing that the Cincinnati Bengals have to do is stop the run. 8-man fronts, run blitzes, whatever they have to do, they've got to take Thurman Thomas out of this football game and force Jim Kelly to throw. I mean, they've got to make Jim Kelly show everyone that he is back to form.
Kelly again takes a drop, gets time. Here comes the rush. He steps in, throws the ball, comes in high at Lonnie Johnson, who takes the rib shot from a guy who can really lay out. Walker, the strong safety. Bracey Walker got a clean lick at him.
Watch Big Daddy here. See, that's a nice swim move by Big Daddy. That's called an uppercut swim move. Big Daddy learning those type of things when you have his size and his talent, and then you put the hand fighting techniques in with it, he becomes very difficult to block.
He's getting better game by game as Big Daddy. Now Kelly on 3rd down and 8. He'll take the snap at the Bengals 20. Thurman Thomas runs, people in front, and Thurman Thomas is ahead and inside the 10-yard line. And he has a first down for the Bills as again they pull people. Bo Orlando got him out of bounds, but not until Thurman Thomas runs for another first down.
So look at Thurman Thomas. He's not like these running backs that go wasting a lot of energy jumping around. He gets the great blocking up front by Ostrowski and just very calmly gets enough for the first down. 63 yards already rushing. Also in front of him, Corey Loshi.
Now the Bills go back to the run. Again, they go to Thurman Thomas, picks his way, and he takes a hard shot. He's so durable, Thurman Thomas. He's like Emmitt Smith of the Cowboys. He can pound on him all game long. He keeps bouncing up and going for more.
Well, you just mentioned the 2 prototypes. Everybody's looking for somebody like a Thurman Thomas. They're looking for guys that are 5'10", 200 pounds, very durable, great footwork.
Could be Thurman Thomas over the top. Thurman Thomas tries to go, but he's thrown back by the Cincinnati defense as the strong safety, number 27, Bracey Walker, somehow found his way in there to make the stop.
The Walkers came into this game with 77 tackles. He's very aggressive. See how he finds a hole there, rushes right through and gets the shot.
And another Bengal is shaken up on the play. Looked like Artie Smith is down. That stops the clock with 12:53 left to play in the first half. And the Bills ready to score again.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By Gateway 2000, personalized computers shipped factory direct. By Coors Light, proud partner of the John Wayne Cancer Institute and their search for a cure. And by Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
Almost a sellout here in Orchard Park, New York. Not quite. As the 17th play of the Bills drive coming up now.
The Bengals defense has done a good job in this area. 6 interceptions to kill scoring opportunities like this, and they need to come up with a play now. 17th play of the drive.
Kelly calls his own number, and does he get in? He does not. Linesman comes in and says he's short. That was 3rd down. So do you build your lead to 10-0 on a sure shot field goal? No, they're going to go. Well, now they start to bring the offense off, and then they're sent back out. Kelly wants to know what they're going to do. Jim Schaffner to the left of Marv Levy, to your right, the quarterback coach. Tom Bresnahan is the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator. Kelly again tries it. Ball on the field, it looked like, and he gets in. They go again. Jim Kelly, who was a top high school linebacker. In fact, that's what they want him to play at Penn State. Not afraid to start hitting people if he thinks they hit him the wrong way, which must be the case there. As with 11:55 to play in the first half, the Bills now build their lead to 13-0.
Well, that's Jim's 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. And like you said, he is one of the most competitive guys in a league of competitive guys.
And here is Steve Christie out to try the point after. So Christie drives it through, and the Bills now lead the game 14-0 as Kelly scores the 2nd touchdown on a 1-yard keep.
Well, they got to be looking
he
for
got
that
hit
as
late.
defense.
I can see why he was
that's what he's mad about, and understandable. Look at, he tries
going
to go
after
get
Bo Orlando.
He tries to get Orlando. But the Cincinnati defense has got to be expecting that. I mean, the lineup suggested it. Someone should have been running straight at the quarterback on the snap.
I talked to Marv Levy yesterday and asked him if he'd give any advice to Bruce Coughlin on getting a 2nd chance as a head coach, which Marv Levy got. He was at Kansas City at one time. Levy said, at this point, I'm seeking advice, not giving it. Could be lights out New England, Beasley. Denver 21-0 over the Patriots. Boy, they're legit, huh?
Denver is good. And John Elway at age 36 has got 20 touchdowns going into this game today. Only 11 interceptions. That play was 19 drives and almost 8 minutes, starting at their own 8-yard line. That's a drive.
Might be the longest of the season. A 19-play drive as now Christie tees the ball up at his 30. He's from Ontario, Canada, Steve Christie. Played at William & Mary.
And Cincinnati's got him right where they want him. Yeah. They're a comeback team.
David Dunn comes up on the ball, picks it up, finds his way ahead, and Dunn gets out close to the 29-yard line, so the Bengals get relatively good field position. Marlo Perry was on the stop. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, it's game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins go against the Houston Oilers. Others will see Jerry Rice and the 49ers host the Baltimore Ravens. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Jeff Blake with no numbers at all today throwing the ball.
Well, his offensive line and running backs are not picking up the pressure.
Cossett and his staff very innovative. They'll keep doing different things. Quick drop, 3-step drop. He throws it out and way off the mark. Going to the enemy as we go back to Greg in New York.
All right, Don, in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers have found their niche. Mike Tomczak, 12-yard touchdown pass to Yancey Thigpen, and then They recover a Jacksonville fumble. Jerome Bettis went 3 yards for a score. 12 minutes to play, first half. Steelers lead it by 14, Don.
Thank you, Greg. Not a good time to play the Steelers a week after they've lost a game.
No, they're mad.
2nd down and 10 for Cincinnati. Here come the Bills. Blake stands in. He finally makes a connection, gets the ball to Darnay Scott, the fastest of the Bengal receivers, and he's ahead for a gain of almost 15 yards and a Bengal first down.
Jeff Blake is a very, very confident player. So even though he's been under pressure, here he is stepping up with a nice shot to Darnay Scott. Darnay kind of rumbles for an extra 2 or 3 yards.
And that was only the 3rd first down of this game so far for the Bengal offense. Bills lead 14-0. Handoff. Garrison Hurst, who's run well today, although he's gotten the ball limited times. Chris Spielman and Mark Maddox, the inside backers, make the stop. They keep double teaming Bruce Smith.
Yeah, Bruce has always got a lot of work to do. See, they get 2 guys out on him to stop and to start, and then once they know that Willie Anderson is in good position, then that lineman or that back helping will move on to another responsibility.
Smith told us yesterday he's playing at 265 pounds. He was up to 310 in 1986. He's faster and better with the weight down as Garrison Hurst runs very well. On a 2nd down and 4 play, he has a first down for the Bengals as Thomas Smith knocks him out of bounds. So this game a little bit ironic in where the Bengals have had success. The Bills with completely shutting down the run the last 7 weeks. That's the only place the Bengals have gotten any offense today, running the ball. Artie Smith, who went off the field early with a lower back strain, but he probably will return to play for the Bengals. Critical drive for Cincinnati, trailing 14-0 in the 2nd quarter. Blake rolling out, takes a look, throws and gets Garrison Hurst. Another first down as Hurst is out to the 31-yard line of the Bills. A gain of 12 yards on the play and another Cincinnati first down.
Well, Don, I've been calling for this play, this type of play, all game long. Rollouts. They need to change the pocket, and they need to roll away from Bruce Smith. They do both. They get a nice first down, nice reception by Garrison Hurst.
The Bengals with almost over $21 million invested in their 2 I-backs, Garrison Hurst and Kijana Carter. Roslett changing his offense as the game wears on. Bengals moving the ball with quicker drops by Blake. Pitch back. Here's Garrison Hurst. And the Bills knock him down for a loss of about 4 yards on the play. Bruce Smith hemmed him in. And Bruce looks like he's shaken up.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You know, when you've got a guy pinned and you've got a very aggressive set of teammates, they come diving in. And how you hurt arms like that, I don't know. But somehow, now watch Bruce fighting off the players. And he's got him. Now watch his teammates. Just kill shots by his teammates, and they get Bruce.
That makes it 2nd down and 12 where the ball is positioned. Bengals with their deepest penetration. Another blitz. They pick it up and go to the run, and look at Garrison Hurst weave his way ahead for a gain of almost 10 yards. Taken down by linebacker David White. Is in for Bryce Paup.
Buffalo with a blitz on here. They send Spielman, but he hits the wrong spot. I mean, he hits the spot he was assigned to hit, but the Bengals lucky enough to have good blockers in good position. They wipe Spielman out and come up with a very nice gain.
And Garrison Hurst with 7 rushes, Beasley, 53 yards, so he's averaging 7.5 a carry.
Well, somebody needs to tell the Bengals that they need to stay with it.
3rd down and 3. And Jeff Blake, seeing those linebackers jumping into blitz, quickly calls a timeout.
First charge.
With 7:56 to go in the first half, as the Bills continue to lead. The sack leaders, a former Bengal, Alfred Williams, leading the league with 10 sacks now for the Denver Broncos.
And you get the sense that Bruce Smith could be the leader by the end of the day.
Pressure continues. Now they threaten to blitz, and now did someone flinch?
Yeah, it looks like they got Blackman. Ken Blackman is a rookie.
False start. Number 66 to the offense. 5 yards.
You know, if you take a look at the defensive line of Buffalo, watch, they're all flinching. They're all jerking around, moving, trying to get these, see them flinching a little bit, and they sucker the rookie, Ken Blackman. They get him to move.
The second-round draft choice from Illinois, Blackman. That is the 5th penalty Coach Kozla has seen his team flagged for.
That's killer.
28 yards in losses on penalties. Now they move Bruce Smith up over the center on 3rd down and 8. Blake dropping quickly, takes a look, and down he goes, and that ball on the field as Blake coughs it up. Jeff Blake absolutely being destroyed by the Buffalo Bills overrunning his offensive line.
Well, I don't know if Bruce is going to get a full here or a half, but watch him come off the ball, watch him jump around and find a space. Look at him off the ball. He jumps over people. I think he's the first one to hit the quarterback, so I think he gets credit for the sack there. So suddenly he's tied for the lead.
Seems deep in meditation over his latest work. Now Lee Johnson, that took the Bengals out of field goal range, so Lee Johnson will try to pooch punt, see if he can pin the Bills back. Not well done. This is going to head into the end zone.
Oh, almost good play. Oh, that's one that the Bengals should have been able to stop. Leonard Walker there. Leonard Walker was in position.
Got by him, a touchback. It comes out to the 20.
Watch Bruce Smith. Jumping people, hurdling his way to a sack.
That's a sack, his 10th. So Bruce Smith continues to dominate the Cincinnati offensive blockers. And the Bills with a 14-0 lead now going offense at their 20-yard line with Derek Holmes in the backfield.
Well, this is a contract year for Bruce.
Actually, he goes through next year.
Does he go through next year?
He'd like it to be a contract. He'd like it to be renegotiated, and he's certainly playing like it should be. Here's a handoff to Derek Holmes to the 26-yard line. Smith earning about $2.2 million a year, and he's seen the defensive lineman Reggie White and the like.
Oh yeah,
the $5 million area.
That's right. A lot of guys making more money than he is, so he would like to have it redone,
including one of his own offensive tackles, John Fina. Derek Holmes runs at 2nd and 4 and gets only a yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Bruce exuberant today, talking a good game on the sideline.
There he is. He's working everybody. You know, when we spoke to him yesterday, you could see the enthusiasm still there, still the leader of this team.
He's in absolutely extraordinary physical condition. This guy works out. They say you get tired of watching. Oh. Here's a pick, and here's a touchdown for the Bengals. As running it back is Ashley Ambrose, his 8th interception on his way to the Pro Bowl. And all of a sudden, the Bengals are back in the game. And the malaise that affected Kelly earlier in this season, interceptions for touchdowns, returns.
Ashley Ambrose is the best cornerback I've seen this year.
You played the position.
I played the position. We've seen the guys in Houston who are excellent, Kansas City who are very special, but Ashley Ambrose has made play after play. Look at the anticipation, perfect step in front of the receiver. Look at this technique. See, he reads the 3-step drop and steps in front of Quinn Early. What a beautiful play. Ashley Ambrose is headed to the Pro Bowl.
He's headed to all pro honors. What a free agent acquisition he was, as Doug Pelfrey now booms through the extra point, and all of a sudden it is no longer a commanding Buffalo lead as the Bengals are ready to kick off, trailing by 7.
Ashley Ambrose is using a technique called cluing. He is looking at Jim Kelly. When he sees the 3-step drop, he will freeze. See him freeze? He starts to move forward before the wide receiver Early even stops. That's a technique perfected by the great Mel Renfro with the Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Famer.
Former teammate of yours.
Absolutely.
Here's the kickoff taken at the 1-yard line by Eric Moulds, the rookie, and he goes wide, and Moulds tries to turn the corner and then takes a tremendous hit, and he's cut down at the 15-yard line.
Let's take a look at this for all the young cornerbacks. Now see his head, his angle is pointed in. He was looking at the quarterback. So when you see a 3-step drop done, you know it's a quick in or a quick out or a stop, something very short. Cincinnati leads the National Football League.
24 INTs with that one today. And they also lead the league in the giveaway takeaway ratio. They're now plus 16.
That's amazing.
4-6 on the season. It is interesting. Ambrose was a second-round draft choice originally. The Colts. Oakland offered him a tremendous amount of money, but he said he felt like family when he came and visited with the Bengals and told his agent, take him there. Look at Andre Reed take the ball over the middle. And Andre Reed is all the way out to the 43-yard line. So Kelly, a gutty player, after his last throw was run back for a score, comes right out firing again.
And he goes right at Ashley Ambrose. This time, Reed spins Ambrose around. So Andre Reed gets the best of that confrontation. He actually turned one of the best cornerbacks in the league in a 360 circle.
A 27-yard gain, and now a good open field tackle. Thurman Thomas runs with the ball, and Gracie Walker, a tough, strong safety, comes up and makes the hit for no gain.
Gracie Walker ran into a very dangerous spot and ran right through it. That was one heck of a play.
Is actually where they spot the ball. A 1-yard loss on the play, so it's 2nd and 11. Here's Kelly firing in the flat, and it's dropped by a tight end. Bo Orlando, the free safety, was running with tight end Tony Klein, number 86, out of Stanford. His dad played for the Raiders, Tony Klein's dad.
Orlando is one of the free agent acquisitions brought in by Cincinnati. They spent $8.1 million in the secondary, and they're getting their money's worth.
Yeah, there's both.
They're leading the league.
Bengals, a young team loaded with good players. Next thing they have to do is sign Bruce Coslett and his staff, because the whole league is aware of Bruce Coslett. Here's Kelly. He throws the ball. Somehow Kelly, showing his years of experience, felt what would have been a sack, and he's out of the pocket, so he can just throw it away. It's not grounding, but it is a 3rd down misfire as John Copeland puts the heat on. 92.
Copeland with a great rush from the top of the screen. I mean, he discards Fina, gets around to put the pressure, and that is amazing that Kelly from that body position could throw that ball out of bounds.
Here's Chris Moore back, and to return the punt for the Bengals is Corey Sawyer. Long hit. It'll be run back, though. Corey Sawyer from his 17-yard line. Fighting his way close to the 20, and there the Bengals will go on offense, trailing 14-7 with 5:08 to play as the NFL and NBC continues. Back at Orchard Park, New York, Ejana Carter, who was the #1 pick in the entire league when he came out of Ohio State a couple of years ago. He's in the backfield now.
Well, they're looking for somebody to rush for 100 yards. In 59 games, Cincinnati, with the worst number in the league, no 100-yard game. But Hurst is halfway there in the first half. 7 carries, 53 yards.
Jeff Blake has only 33 yards passing the ball. Handoff. Ejana Carter works his way to the 22-yard line, taken down by the huge nose tackle Ted Washington.
Ejana coming off of the knee injury from last year. He's a very big back, and I think that, you know, in college he had the type of offensive line support where he was running through big holes at Penn State. He's got to make his decisions a little bit quicker and get a little more confidence, and he's going to be a great one. A lot of touchdowns. He's got 5 already this year.
Most of them from close in. He's their short yardage guy. Here's a throw and a catch. This is Carl Pickens, who comes in with 62 catches, making the grab at the 29-yard line, very close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be just short of it, bringing up 3rd down.
Herman Moore of Detroit and Carl Pickens of Cincinnati, I think they have the best hands in the league. Watch how they catch nothing but hands. Watch this. A lot of wide receivers will jump in the air and body that. When you catch with your hands, you're able to put it away quickly and find somewhere to run.
Now Jeff Blake apparently is going to take a timeout. He wants to make sure this 3rd and short works. So with 4:02 left to play in the first half, Coach Coslett, he does not like the timeouts called by Blake. Last week he got after him and did at Baltimore. But Blake wants to be certain, so he'll confer with his coaches on the sideline. Kenny Anderson, the offensive coordinator, right next to Coslett. Experience the NFL all week long on NFL.com, the official website of the National Football League. For all of the tackles and touchdowns and the live game day scoreboard, click on NFL.com.
I'm there all the time, Don. You get a lot of good information. You know, as I'm preparing for these games, the NFL has a great page.
The Bengals do not have a great third down conversion rate today. They are 0 for 5 as third down now arises as Blake comes back in. He, of course, was with the Jets as a 6th round draft choice out of East Carolina. And the Jets cut him his second year. Goslett had then been fired and went to the Bengals, and they said, grab this guy, he can play. And he's been playing. Last year he started in the Pro Bowl for the American Conference, did Jeff Blake. 28 touchdown passes last season. On 3rd and short. Blake, a very good runner. Quick out. And Blake throws the ball far. That's a fumble. That is a live ball. The Bills are going to pick it up and take it in. So Jeff Blake having a horrendous day. Absolutely deplorable.
This ball is clearly thrown backwards. It is clearly a live ball. That is a devastating development for Cincinnati. Excellent play for Buffalo. And it almost works done.
Yeah, he threw it far too hard and behind.
Yeah, he threw it too hard. Absolutely. Blake waited. They kind of suckered the lineman in. Had he have gotten it over there, it might have been a first down, but instead, touchdown for Buffalo.
The kick is up and good, and so David White, who stepped in as a starter today because of the injury to Bryce Pup, gets his first NFL touchdown.
See how he hides, kind of sucks everybody in, and Kijana knows that it's a backwards throw because he's got to, he quickly rushes over to cover up the ball. Here's a real good look. See the fake hiding by Blake, ball going back, Kijana quickly trying to get on it, and that's good hustle by the defense.
So in effect, both quarterbacks today have thrown for touchdowns, but to the wrong team. Ambrose ran back one of Kelly's for the only Bengals score, and now this errant throw by Jeff Blake is turned into a touchdown as David White, a linebacker, 51, picks it up. And the Bills again are in command of the game, 21-7.
But once again, Cincinnati's got them right where they want them. I'm telling you, this team will keep coming back to try to get in it.
That's one thing about Blake. He will not back away. Some guys go into a manic depression when they start make plays like that. Jeff Blake just can't wait to get back out there.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that believes the next series of down will be his time.
As a collegiate at East Carolina, his team lost its first game his senior year, then they won the next 11. The kickoff comes downfield to David Dunn. Here's the guy that ran it back. He's a tough guy taking on the tacklers, and Dunn is out to the 26-yard line. Tackle on the play by Mark Pike, who is coach extols as one of the great special teamers ever.
Well, he's been in the shadow of Tasker because Tasker was so great at it. But watch this. This is like a madman. 94, and it's the most dangerous thing in the world. It's like the fight scene in Braveheart. I mean, guys just running down like they're madmen. The only thing they don't have is knives and swords.
Mark Pike, he's made a living as a special teams expert. They have two terrific special teamers on the Bills. Steve Tasker, the other. He's playing now from scrimmage as a receiver. First down. What does Jeff Blake go to here? A straight drop, stands in, makes the throw, makes the connection out to the 36-yard line. The game clock down to 3:35 to play. A good catch by Darnay Scott.
Darnay Scott has had two nice catches. In trouble this time. He is very well covered. I mean, the defense is in great position. Look at Burrows. He's right there.
Got to watch Darnay Scott. He's the fastest Bengal. That was his second catch of the day, his 40th of the year.
Blake is hoping to catch him in man for man so he can hit Pickens on a big one.
Blake again goes to the run, but the flags are thrown before the snap of the ball as the handoff was to Kijana Carter. Is our referee Hamer now ready to make the call?
Prior to the snap,
Yeah.
false start. Number 74, 5 yards, still second down.
Rich Graham, the left guard, was the man who false start. The Bills will flinch a lot. Their defensive linemen will make a little hitch move like they're going to come.
Yeah, they're smart. I mean, they really do that well. He's looking right at Bruce Smith, and Bruce Smith will make you flinch.
He is so fast. 2nd down and 6. Blake takes a look, lets it go long, and there is Carl Pickens, but he can't get to the ball. That's Darnay Scott running to the near flank, and the ball is incomplete at the 15-yard line.
You know, Willie Anderson has got the tough assignment today, but let's take a look at him working on Bruce Smith. Good position, good handwork, but see there, someone's there to help him, but he didn't need it that time. The rookie, Willie Anderson, #1 pick out of Auburn. 6'5", 325 with the assignment of his life.
Yeah, he said he knows what his progress will be after this game. Blake 5 for 13 for 49 yards. He steps up the middle. They get him again. Jeff Blake with nowhere to go as the Bills again overwhelm the offensive line of the Bengals. This time Phil Hansen is there to make the sack. Also on the play with 59, Sam Rogers.
These guys are good. Hansen is the first man to the ball. He came into this game with 2.5 sacks. You can make it 3.5 sacks to go with 87 tackles. A solid football play.
And again, Jeff Burris is back, number 22 for the Bills, as Lee Johnson will punt again. Jim Kelly and the Bills offense will have a lot of time. There's over 2 minutes to go in the first half, as Lee Johnson left puts a knuckleball downfield that Burris fields at the 24. Weaves his way up the middle, and Jeff Burris is out to the 39-yard line. An excellent return. The enemy was on the tackle.
You know, if you think that Cincinnati's fallen out of this, here's one of the reasons that they're able to come back. They are one of the most prolific touchdown scoring combinations are Blake and Pickens, but also when you look at Kelly and Reed all time, they're right behind the great names: Marino, Clayton, Young and Rice, Unitas and Berry. Kelly and Reed, they can really put it together.
Kelly ready to go to work now. He fakes to Thurman Thomas, who gives him a block and then throws the nice out pattern that's fielded beautifully by Andre Reed below the knees, coming back at the ball with a hands catch for a first down.
Well, this guy can catch. And, you know, I talked about earlier about catching with your hands. Look at the pattern. Oh, what a nice pattern. Look how he pulls Ashley Ambrose inside, then fingertip down on the shoelaces. Reception for Andre Reed. That's
Andre with 46 catches for the season now, Beasley, as we're down to the 2-minute warning, and the Bills in command 21-7.
All my life.
Coming up at halftime, the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Joining Greg Gumbel in the studio will be Chris Collinsworth, Mike Ditka, and Joe Gibbs. Scores and highlights, and then a preview of the second half doubleheader games. The Dolphins go against the Oilers at Houston today, and Baltimore plays at San Francisco. Miami Dolphins needing a win badly at 5-5 after that fast start. Jim Kelly and the Bills were beaten by them. As the K-Gun gets it done, well, it has the last 2 weeks and so far today. But it's the Bills defense that really stands out. Kent Hull told us yesterday, the Bills' terrific center, that we had this defense in those Super Bowl games, we'd be wearing rings.
Well, it's a great defensive effort, and so far today they've been frightening. I mean, Cincinnati has been just in trouble. Time the ball is snapped. Even before the ball is snapped, Bruce Smith has made them jump and flinch and caused a couple of penalties.
There was some concern among the Buffalo fans and media around here that the Bills, after those 2 big wins over NFC opponents, Washington and Philadelphia, might not be up to their top of the game. But now today they're looking as good as ever as they go to the run into Derek Holmes, who takes it close to the 45-yard line, a gain of about 3.
You know, you were talking about how lucky Thurman Thomas is to have Holmes. I mean, this guy gives him a break. He's not killed. You know, he's still going to be over 1,000 yards.
Here's Kelly. He gets time and makes a throw over the middle to Andre Reed on the run, who protects the ball and gets down to the 22-yard line. An absolute perfect play as Kelly gets the blocking and then threads the ball in between defenders to a future Hall of Famer, Andre Reed.
It's zone coverage, and Reed's puts a nice move to the inside, right on the seam. Andre Reed doesn't have to slow down. He doesn't have to change directions because Jim Kelly puts it right on the money. Watch this throw. See how Ashley Ambrose is staying outside because he's got the outside third. Linebackers have to get back a little bit deeper to force that to be more of an arcing, slower throw so the safety can have time to get to it, but no one was there. Kelly finds the perfect throwing lane. Look at this. I mean, Andre, that's like practice. That's like a couple of guys out in the field just throwing the ball.
Reed still has it. You'll remember that severe hamstring injury he had. His hamstring is actually torn, and he missed virtually an entire season with it after he was hurt against the Jets. And there was some question whether or not he'd sign and come back to Buffalo when he was a free agent, but players like Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith went to see him and say, "We want you back." He didn't feel he got the support from the fans or the organization when he was hurt. People thought he was malingering. But now he's back in good health and looking better than ever.
Boy, he is so smooth. I don't see any difference.
No, he's excellent. He has all his speed back. Here's Kelly, another timing. Oh, another connection. This one over the middle is down inside the 5-yard line to Chris Brantley, number 82. Second-year player from Rutgers.
Jim Kelly's got it going. I mean, look at his eyes. I mean, just surveying the defense, finding the open man, people all over the receiver, but he puts it right there.
Derek Holmes is stopped as he runs the ball, and Bo Orlando, the free safety, finds a way through the blockers and makes a tackle for a loss. Game clock winding down, 35 seconds. Coach Levy wants him to hurry it up and get some plays run.
At the height of the K-Guns efficiency, they ran a play every 17 seconds.
Derek Holmes didn't get there again. This time, Bo Orlando is the man who did it twice, stopping the run.
Yeah, he's blitzing. He's blitzing through holes.
And the Bills signal a timeout.
Speaking of Bo Orlando.
That's it for timeouts for the Bills in this half. Bo Orlando, a free agent who's been with the San Diego Chargers most recently, out of West Virginia. Coaches say he's not as big as some safeties, maybe not as fast, but he's never out of position.
Look at him. He sees the hole and runs right into it. That's a nice play. Very experienced. Rich. He signed a $1.7 million deal to come here. He looks like Sylvester Stallone to me.
He does look a little like Sylvester.
Acts like Sylvester.
Keeps those contracts coming. He'll be knocking down that Sylvester Stallone money. Keeps making those tackles. Ball at the 4-yard line. Third down and goal. Here comes Kelly with the play as the Bills are out of timeouts. Good chance it'll be a pass play because if incomplete, they would then kick the field goal. Bengals will probably be blitzing. Bills in command of the game, 21-7. Kelly looks to throw to the end zone and throws it away. Sees nobody open. Good coverage. And so with the incomplete pass, the Bills have 12 seconds. And they'll send out Steve Christie, their field goal kicker, who so far this year has hit 19 of 22.
That's a good job by Kelly. He knows that Cincinnati has 6 interceptions in situations like this to kill scoring opportunities over the season. So he throws it away, gives his team an opportunity to get another 3 points.
Almost a sure thing with Christie kicking as he drives it through the middle. And the Bills now extend to a 24-7 lead with just 9 seconds to play in the first half. So the Bills en route to their 8th win of the season in a day when they're seeing their arch rival at this time in the AFC East getting blown away by Denver. The New England Patriots down 21-0 at last report.
Well, this is a big opportunity for Buffalo. They can take sole possession in the division. And they're playing like it. They're playing like they know that.
Home field is so huge, though, as you know, Beasley. Nobody's going to beat Buffalo here in January. And I don't think anybody's going to beat the Broncos at Denver in January.
If they bring the Super Bowl here, Buffalo will have a ring.
That's how the day started. The Patriots and the Bills tied for the AFC Eastern lead. The Colts have come a cropper. 4 straight losses. They've fallen apart. Injuries have really depleted them. And this is a crucial day for Miami in what will be the doubleheader game on most of these NBC stations. The Dolphins against the Oilers at Houston. Miami can win there. They'll be right back in it.
That was a nice outfit. A couple of guys working together there. Jim Kelly is really sharp today. And the interception that he threw for a touchdown, I just credit that to a tremendous defensive play.
By Ashley Ambrose. You remember last week at a time like this, the Steelers kicked off with 4 seconds left. Now they squib kick through the Bills to an up back. They're not going to let David Dunn run one back for a touchdown, as was the case last year. Troy Sadowski picks it up, and with 5 seconds left, the Bengals send out their offense for one desperation pass that'll conclude the first half play. And here comes Jeff Blake, who has been overrun by the Bills pass rush today.
Yeah, he's had no chance. No chance. Without blocking, they all look alike. You go get the best quarterback in history and let people come flying in on him. You can't do anything.
No, rather than risk a throw and possible interception, the Bengals will try to regroup at halftime. The score at the half, the Bills 24, the Bengals 7. So Coach Coslett has to go to the blackboard at halftime and try to figure out how do you block 78. We'll be back with the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report after these messages from your local station. We're back in Orchard Park, New York, where the Bills lead the Bengals 24-7 at halftime with Beasley Reese. I'm Don Criqui. 3 weeks in a row now the Bengals have come from behind in the second half to win, but Beasley, they'll really be pulling rabbits out of hats if they do it today.
Well, the problem today is that Jeff Blake has 0 time. They're able to come back because that great passing game is able to come up with some big plays. That's going to be very difficult in the second half.
The Bills allowed no sacks of Jim Kelly last week in winning at Philadelphia. 1 sack of him today, so he's getting time. Blake's getting none at all, and it's sure showing up on the scoreboard where the Bills have taken command. But Jeff Blake, we talked about his mental makeup. He's an unusually tough kid. I mean, he's not a guy that gets down, and he'll just keep firing and fighting back until they carry him out.
And when you see those numbers there, it looks very, very weak for Jeff Blake. But I'm telling you, all of those guys look alike when they don't have any blockers.
And he's had very little. Here's the kickoff by the Bengals now, and Eric Mold, the Bills' #1 draft choice, runs it up the middle, and he's all the way out to the 32-yard line. So Kelly and the Bills getting good field position again. Jim Kelly, out of Miami of Florida, drafted #1 by the Bills back in 1983, but the money wasn't right, and he went to the USFL's Houston Gamblers. Then came to Buffalo and has led them to the 4 Super Bowls in the 90s. 90, 91, 92, and 93 seasons were Super Bowl years for Buffalo, at least getting to the game. But not once did they win it, coming close only one time, and that lost to the Giants when the field goal went wide. The Bills go to the run into Thurman Thomas, and he finds his way through the Bengal defense. Vintage Thurman Thomas, shifting and changing directions with every stride, juking and faking, and always running patiently close to one of his blockers, a 12-yard gain.
Well, it's the same play. It's the old counter tray. Lucci gets a great block here. Watch him pull from the backside. Lucci and Ostrowski coming around. Look at that great block by number 72.
And Thurman Thomas, he runs again, this time to the near side. They've been running more to the left today of the Bills, as the Bengals were telling us they had 25 pulling plays running to the right last week.
Yeah, well, they have to stop one play to the Cincinnati Bengals. They've got to figure out a way to stop the counter tray. They're getting a steady diet of it, and Buffalo's very successful with it.
The Bills, I'm sure, buoyed by the news from Foxborough that the Patriots are having a bad day, at least so far, against Denver. Here is a handoff and a give. Thurman Thomas is knocked down for a loss of 3 yards on the play by Big John Copeland, who was the 5th pick overall when he came out of Alabama 4 years ago. There's the play selection. The Bills have been 2-to-1 rush to pass in the recent weeks.
This is a running team now. For the season, they came into this game 371 runs, 311 passes.
Kelly setting up, takes a look, buys some time on the run, fires across the field and finds a man. Usually that's dangerous, but Steve Tasker's there for it. And he has a Bills first down on 3rd and 9. A gain on the play of 19 yards.
That was dangerous, but it was pretty. Now watch Jim Kelly. When he starts to roll, a defense is a moving, collapsing entity. See everybody moving in this direction, so that leaves the receiver, Tasker, all alone, and he comes up with a nice play. A defense responds to what the offense is doing. It is a breathing, living influx entity.
I'll accept that. Yep. Tasker is only his 9th catch of the year, but Kelly was telling us yesterday, Beasley, he thinks he's a very important part of the offense. Now Thurman Thomas again demonstrating that patience, waiting for blockers, but all he got was middle linebacker Steve Tovar, who knocks him down.
Same play again. There's Tasker, and he is able to find his way in the soft zone when all of the defenders vacated that area, moving in the direction of the quarterback, because most quarterbacks won't stop and throw that ball all the way across the field. John Elway has made a career of it.
Now Kelly again against a blitz, steps up, and they get him for a second time today. A second sack of Jim Kelly back at the 41-yard line, and that will bring up 3rd and about 15.
Jim Kelly accepted that sack rather than try to throw it in a place where he's not comfortable. See, right now he accepts the fact that he's going to go down, and I think that's a smart play when you've got a nice lead. Don't make a major mistake to wake up the Bengals.
He's made one mistake today. His 14th interception of this season was run back by Ashley Ambrose for a touchdown. Cincinnati's only score. Kelly gets time. He fires and comes in high, but still the ball is taken down by Quinn Early, number 88. And that is for a Bills first down on 3rd and 14, a 17-yard gain.
This gets a little high on Jim Kelly. Watch it. He's got all the time he needs. Nice, strong step into the throw. Very good catch. Not very good coverage by Jimmy Spencer. That ball took a long time to get there. In better position, he could have made a play.
The Bills could close with a rush after the day. Only one of their final 5 opponents at the current time is over 500. That's Kansas City. Look at that. Tasker all alone, and he goes in, pointing at the defender in derision. 22-yard touchdown play. And you start to wonder at this point if the comeback Bengals are playing like they know they're beaten.
This is another great play. This is going to be a slant out here, and then Tasker's going to work his way into the open area. Look how everybody follows in on Tasker. No one's out there. Everyone follows the slant on the inside, and no one's out there with Steve Tasker.
So Steve Tasker with his first touchdown of the season, and the Bills now take a 30-7 lead. And Christie is soon to make that 31-7, with almost an entire half of football to be played. So the Bills going for bonus today, going for extra bases as the NFL on NBC continues.
You buy one hot little number, the all-new Mirage Coupe from Mitsubishi, built for living. By Castrol, official motor oil sponsor of the NFL. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And by Energizer Batteries, still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going and going.
We're back as a crowd of almost 80,000 celebrating the Bills as their resurgent football team moving to an 8-3 record and about perhaps to take a one-game lead in the division if the Broncos continue their success and win at New England today. Jeff Hill running back the kickoff for Cincinnati. A very fast, quick runner takes it to the 29-yard line, but now number 8, Jeff Blake, has to make something happen. Tonight, it's a Jack Reed world premiere mystery, Tracking a Serial Killer. Well, the Bills defense has been a bunch of predators today, feeding on Jeff Blake as he now digs in and goes to the run on first down, and there's nothing there. That's the big nose tackle, Ted Washington, who is a one-man defensive line.
He's 2 men in 1.
He's 2 men.
He's like that commercial. Two and one.
Kent Hall said to us yesterday, he said, one guy can't do a thing with him. 2 guys can move him a little bit.
Look at that. When you get wrapped up by all of that, you just let your legs go limp and go to the ground. That's a bear hug. He's like popping out of that helmet.
Wade Phillips had him at Denver, and he didn't do much there. He was hurt. Well, Wade Phillips knew right when he came to Buffalo, everybody said, get Washington. They did. Here's a long ball. Going down the field is Darnay Scott. And it's a pick. The ball is taken down by Kurt Schulz of the Bills. Number 24 runs it back. And Kurt Schulz looking for room to go. Gets it out to the 48-yard line. Tony McGee finally makes the tackle. So Bruce Coslett, hey, listen, you got to fire deep and try to get back in this thing. A 21-yard return on the interception.
Well, it's free safety time. You see Schultz in the middle of the field playing like a center fielder in baseball. Oh, that's a great catch.
Yes, it is.
That's a fantastic catch. Watch Ted Washington right at the end of this. 340 pounds falling around your knees. That'll make you nervous. But you know that the quarterback who is down by this type of number has got to throw it up. And so as a free safety, you lay back and get ready.
The Bills go to the run to Derek Holmes, and he's thrown down for a loss back at the 41-yard line. As early as this second half is, the Bills now looking to run clock with a 31-7 lead. 9:50 to play. James Francis on the tackle. Schulz noted for his hard hitting, but demonstrating very good hands on that play. It was a well thrown ball. Really, they've hit the big play on that same high throw to Darnay Scott, who's a great leaper, as is the other receiver Pickens. But Schulz went a bit higher and got the ball. Derek Holmes runs, and he gets to about the 43-yard line.
This is like the old Green Bay Packers sweep. It's not the same play, but the same philosophy. Buffalo is running the counter tray over and over again, pulling the backside lineman and allowing the running back to just pick his spots. See your backside lineman, number 70, John Fina, number 79, Reuben Brown, pulling.
25 times they ran it last week, and now they go to a handoff, and again Derek Holmes has a problem as they hem him in and stop him for another loss back at the 38-yard line. John Copeland coming off the ball hard, number 92. So the Bills have to punt.
Variation of the same play.
Talked about the Green Bay power sweep, the 36 weak side sweep that they ran in one championship game against the Giants. 29 times the one play. They ran it 12 times in a row. Can't stop it. Lombardi kept running it.
Hey, we do it well, you stop it.
Corey Sawyer is now back deep for the Bengals. Chris Moore hitting the ball very high. So that's why so few of his are returned. But Sawyer living dangerously does make the catch and is quickly leveled. Moore, excellent special teams play by the Bills, as coming down to get him was Gabe Northern, number 99.
The trainer's looking over Northern, who just made a nice play, but look how this defense of the Buffalo Bills has improved. I mean, the number is plummeting down. The effect of the influence, I think, of Wade Phillips. Now in 1996, it's a very good defense, rated 8th in the game. And Don, I believe that you can credit this man right here. They are playing some super defense.
Well, Wade just coached 2 years at Denver. First year they went to the playoffs. Next year they struggled. There was a lot of injuries, but he said they wanted a Super Bowl win now, and he was out. As big Ted Washington loads up, ready to fire again. Jeff Blake, timing throw, gets it to Carl Pickens, cutting back, and he's out to the 31-yard line. A quick hitch and a first down for a gain of 6 yards.
That's what Cincinnati has to do. They've got to get the 3-step drops going, quick ins, stop routes to their talented skill positions at the wide receiver, and then try down a double cut, quick out and go, a curl and go.
They've got to hit the deep ball sooner or later to even make this respectable down. 31-7 at this point. And Garrison Hurst, nothing doing. No business to be done in the middle of the Bills defense as the run stuffer from linebacker position, Chris Spielman, makes a knockdown tackle for a loss of a yard on the play.
He has really changed his defense. Came into this game with 116 tackles. There's certain areas on the field you won't be able to run when Spielman is your middle linebacker.
And without him, the Lions defense has certainly not been close to what it's been. The Bengals 0 for 6 on previous third down conversion drives. The enemy's in the backfield. Three times last week against the Steelers, Jeff Blake was tripped up by one of his offensive linemen. And so the Bengals have to punt the ball with 7:08 to play in the third quarter.
And Don, what happens is the linemen are taking such a rush that they move back just a little bit. If you change your stance a couple of inches, you don't know what is going to affect the trickle-down effect. So they move back to get better angles and position on the D lineman and end up stepping on the quarterback.
They got the wrong angle and got their quarterback. Here's Tasker signaling for making a fair catch for the Bills at the 23-yard line. So Buffalo, which owns this game, goes on offense as the NFL and NBC continues. Next Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, don't miss the World Cup of Golf from Cape Town, South Africa. Watch as U.S. Open champion Steve Jones and British Open winner Tom Lehman team up against the world's best, the likes of Langer, Woosnam, and Els. The U.S. team has captured the last 4 titles, and they keep the streak alive. That's the World Cup of Golf next Saturday and Sunday here on NBC. Jeff Burris, defensive back and kick returner for the Bills, was shaken up. He's being attended to, and that is why Tasker was in returning the last punt. As we check the 10-minute ticker, Denver laid waste to the Patriots a year ago, won by 34. Looks like they're going to do it again, absolutely dominating the Patriots on New England's home field. Washington and Philadelphia as the Redskins get back in the race, if they can hold on at Philadelphia. Kansas City, like the Bills, seems to find a way to win close games most of the time. And Pittsburgh continues to dominate Jacksonville 21-3. The Steelers off an upset loss at Cincinnati a week ago. Detroit now coming from behind to take the lead over the rising Seattle Seahawks. And the Jets and the Colts fighting it out at Indianapolis. The Bills coming in 7-3. 6 of the Bills' 7 wins this season have been by a touchdown or less. And off to Derek Holmes. And he in the first down carry gets about 3. Bills looking to run clock, get out of here with another W. And the Bengals trying to get the ball back, but when they've had it, their offense has been absolutely ineffective against this Bills defense.
Number 79, Reuben Brown with the pull that time, and Holmes turned it back into the hole that he vacated when he started his pull.
Big Daddy shaken up. Only once in NFL history has a team started 1-6 and gone to the playoffs. The Bengals, this Bengal team, started 1-6 this year, and the only other team to do it and go to the playoffs was the 1970 Cincinnati Bengals. Their 3rd year in the league, they went to the playoffs. And in Cincinnati, they feel they went too soon because they drafted too low then, when they were still building their team.
Yeah. Now, Costa, was he on that team?
I think he was on that team, yeah. He and Bob Trumpy were the tight ends. There's a handoff to Derek Holmes, who runs across the 30 and gets to the 34-yard line, and looks like he might have a first down as Javon Langford, a rookie, tackled him.
These guys are good. This is a beautiful cut. This play is designed to go on one side of the field. You see the pull by Ostrowski, a dead stop 45-degree cut, and then look at the balance there. That's what you can do in your 2nd year in the league when those knees are still fresh.
And his knees are very fresh, although on a first down carry, Derek Holmes doesn't get a lot. He was a 7th-round draft choice, was number 44, Derek Holmes. Played at Portland State, and he was really a great surprise when he came to camp right from the get-go. He showed he was an NFL runner. Now one of the Bills' key components in their offensive line, Reuben Brown, is down, their left guard. He was their number 1 draft choice last year. There's another guy that was good from the minute he stepped foot in camp. So the scheduling for the Bills is very advantageous to them finishing strong. After today's game, they will play the Jets here. Then they go against the Colts at Indianapolis. They play at Seattle, play at Miami, and then have Kansas City here in a big game on December 22nd.
Here is Reuben Brown right here. We'll try to figure out what happened to him. And there it is. Oh, my goodness. So he is rolled up. John Copeland rolls into the back of his leg. See Copeland spinning around on the tackle of Holmes. And Reuben Brown coming back from a foot injury last year, so hopefully that's not that same foot. Look at the girth of that.
The girth of an alderman. Here is the Kelly looking near side, and he throws way high and away as the coverage. He saw Ashley Ambrose making that cut move in front of his receiver again that resulted in a touchdown earlier, so he threw it away.
Well, Ashley started out with absolutely perfect technique in this game, and then he got himself into some bad positions where he was turned, and I think on one of the touchdowns, on the touchdown to Tasker, he followed the receiver in too far. He had the outside 30. Should have led him in and then came out.
Here's Kelly on 3rd and 10, and they sweep him under way back as Steve Tovar coming out of middle linebacker blitz gets him. The 3rd sack of Jim Kelly today. Eagles couldn't get him once a week ago.
Coming right downtown through the center of the screen, unblocked.
And Tovar with the sack stops the Bills offense, and Chris Moore comes back out to punt the ball. It's a high spiral downfield at Sawyer, and a fair catch at the 31-yard line. So once again the Bengal offense will try, futile as it's been against this tough Bills defense. The Bills offensive lineman, number 67, Kent Halls, in his 14th year in pro football, and told us yesterday he feels every one of them. Still playing great, though. The Bengals trying to get something going. Jeff Blake with a deep drop. He's on the run, and he's got room to go, but he stands in and throws it right to a linebacker who drops it. Jeff Blake could have run I don't know how far. He had an open side of the field. Damian Covington had his hands on it and lost it.
The Cincinnati Bengals have made a interesting adjustment as we see this, which is a gift interception. That's a gimme. That's a gift. Oh, boy.
As the old saying goes, if he could catch it, he'd be playing offense.
Now, Buffalo has dropped probably 6 interceptions this year. These guys can't catch.
Blake has a tip ball and almost another play on the ball. David White, who scored on the pickup of the fumble lateral earlier and scored a touchdown, was close to getting that ball. And again, the Bengals find themselves at 3rd and 10, and there's not much you can do against an all-out pass rush with the defensive nickel package in. Extra DBs to guard against the pass. Bengals go with a 3 wide receiver set. Let's try that draw run. They go to the run to Kijana Carter. He loses 3 yards. Or to Eric Bieniemy runs it. He loses 3 back to the 30-yard line.
Well, you know there's no blocking when Eric Bieniemy doesn't get positive yardage. No blocking.
Coslet apparently philosophical over a great run of success. 3 straight wins, all come from behind wins in the second half after he took over a 1-6 team. But today he's playing a Bills team that everybody here has been telling us has the best defense they've ever had in Buffalo, and it's showing.
Well, you know what? How I picked them before the season started. I was looking a little foolish, but I picked Buffalo to go all the way.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Well, you might still have something going here as the ball is boomed downfield to Tasker from the 18. And he's slammed down at the 24-yard line. Andre Collins makes the tackle, and the Bills will try to run more clock when we come back.
Back in Buffalo, the score 31-7. Cincinnati really struggling, and you know Buffalo they have had balls hitting them in the head, the chest. We were talking to Jim Kelly, and he was talking about how he was telling his defensive guys, you've got to catch the ball. The Bengals in 1st place in the National Football League when it comes to interception. Buffalo with only 7. You have got to be able to catch. Schultz right there made a nice catch, a beautiful catch for an interception.
And there is the young man they call Fabio, his teammates do. Matt Stevens, a rookie, starting at safety. In the offseason, he's a model actor, a rookie. He brings a full package, though, a big-time hitter.
Yeah, he'll hit you.
As the Bills explain it, the hair is for modeling purposes.
Well, it's job related.
My man, Fabio. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Bills, all the way back at their 14-yard line. Jim Kelly is going to keep throwing. He swings it out to his tight end, Lonnie Johnson. And Johnson gets to the 23, tackled by James Francis. So the Bills methodically running a short pass offense for the most part, with a run game mixed in. More running than passing, and above all, keeping the clock ticking. It's down to 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter.
The last series, Cincinnati actually stopped the running of Buffalo, so they have to throw a few passes in there to break the tendency.
Hand off. Derek Holmes runs it ahead and gets to the 27-yard line, and it's a 1st down for the Bills. Bills and the Bengals haven't played since '91, when Buffalo won on this field handily, 34-16. Thurman Thomas getting a much-deserved rest after some very important early running production. Now with the game well in hand, they go back to the 2nd year back, and Derek Holmes is a very different runner, they say, than Thurman Thomas. They say he's much different for a defense to try to take down. Much more of a power slant runner.
Yeah, he's got a much bigger body. There are some similarities, but he's got a bigger body, runs a little harder, a little more difficult to bring down, but he's a young back, so with the game in hand, they'll let the veteran rest.
Now John Copeland looked like he left early. We'll see if he was drawn offside. Wilkinson and Copeland.
Snap. False start. Number 68 of the offense, 5 yards.
A rare penalty against the Bills, who've played almost perfect football, other than the interception was run back for a touchdown. It's only the 2nd penalty against the Bills.
Corbin Lucina, you can see him top part of the screen. See him jump, starting to move into his slant.
And the Bills line up again. 2nd down and 10. Derek Holmes crashes ahead and very close to a 1st down. Looks like he might be just short of it where the linesman comes in. We'll see where they spot the ball down.
Well, this guy is a very nice interior runner. Good runner in traffic. Just subtle movements. Watch. There's one. There's another. You know, little cuts. Just little cuts when you're in traffic. Efficient movement.
And then the all-important 2 hands on the ball to make sure it's not coughed up, as Kelly calls his own number on 3rd and short. Puts his head down and gets the 1st down. Jeezy, what about leaving Kelly in? You got a veteran, 36 years old. You look at Todd Collins, your backup some more?
Well, I think Kelly's not that type of guy. I mean, you look at his face right there. He's giving hand signals, looking over to coach, you know, waving the coaches off, whatever they were saying. This is Jim Kelly's team, and believe me, you'll have to make him come out.
He's been hit in the game, sacked 3 times. Here's another good throw by Kelly. This one to Andre Reed, who's having a big day. And Reed is ahead for a gain of 12 yards and another Bills 1st down.
I tell you, this is another one that'll be difficult for a lot of people to believe, but let me tell you something. This is a stats game for Jim Kelly also, and he needs some numbers. So he's in a game against a team that they are controlling, and I believe he'd want to stay in there and see what type of passing he can put together.
Well, he's certainly connecting with Andre Reed, who's caught 6 for 105 yards today. 49 catches for the season for Reed. Kelly comes in on the 1 hop this time to Quinn Early. An important free agent acquisition of the Bills from the New Orleans Saints, where he was a 1,000-yard receiver last season.
Jim saw that one just a little bit late. I think he was upset with himself because Early was open for a long time, and by the time Jim saw it, it was a dangerous throw.
Now Jim probably ready to throw again on 2nd down and 10. Now he goes to a draw play. Derek Holmes looks for some room to go, doesn't find much, gets to the 49, a gain of 2 yards. 3rd down and 8 as the 3rd quarter starts to wind down and out. John Copeland was on the tackle for the Bengals. Bengals go back to Cincinnati next week to play the Atlanta Falcons. And Copeland shaken up on the play. Bengals got what they were looking for in the way of weather that can be very cold and windy. As you start to get into late November in western New York State as the winds sweep down from Canada. But this unseasonably mild temperature at kickoff was about 50 degrees and the winds were minimal. So they came in looking to throw the ball to the Bengals, but while the weather conditions were right to do it, the Bills defense was too much to throw against.
Here's Copeland trying to make a 360 to get back in on the play. Watch his legs. He falls in there and get tangled up some kind of way. That's a nice 360 spin to get back in on the play.
A very important player, one of the best young defensive linemen in the league, John Copeland. He played for Alabama's national championship team under Gene Stallings. Looks like he's getting an ankle looked at. Copeland, blue chip draft choice, the number 5 player picked in the entire first round when he came out. Coming up on most of these NBC stations, it's game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you will see Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins battle the Houston Oilers. Others will see Jerry Rice and the 49ers host the Baltimore Ravens. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Cincinnati went into San Francisco and had a 21-0 lead on the 49ers, only to lose 28-21. Testaverde having a big year, a career year, with 23 touchdown passes for the Ravens.
I think the stage was set for Cincinnati. They've got to be very disappointed. As you mentioned, the weather is perfect. They're a passing team, but they're a passing team facing a team that they could not block whatsoever. Bryce Paup out of the game, so one of the top rushers in the National Football League having to sit out. Everything was set up for Cincinnati to play a lot better than this.
And now the Bills leisurely trade sides on the field as the NFL and NBC continues with Buffalo in command. The Buffalo Gills saluting the good performance of their team as the Bills looking for more now come out of the huddle. 3rd down and 8. All positioned to the 49-yard line of the Bengals. Opening play of the 4th quarter. Jim Kelly setting himself. Hands off. And Derek Holmes runs. Not very far, so the Bills send out their punting team.
Cincinnati's done a much better job against the run. I mean, early on, it didn't look like they'd be able to stop anything. The counter tray was working every play.
There's Carl Pickens. Coach Kaza telling us yesterday he might go to Pickens, who was an absolutely phenomenal punt returner at the University of Tennessee.
Well, it's a smart move. This team needs a spark. They are walking around as if they've accepted their fate.
They went for the block, got close, but the ball is angled and it gets into the end zone despite the best efforts of Brantley to keep it out. So the Bengals will go from their 20-yard line, 1st down and 10. Let's get an update on the Jets and the Colts as we go back to Greg in New York.
All right, Don, and Adrian Morrell fumble led to a Colts touchdown earlier, but Morrell gets one back here into the end zone. The 2-point conversion fails. Indianapolis with a 23-21 lead on the Jets, under 3 minutes to play in the 3rd. Don?
Thanks, Greg. Jets getting better, and they'll come into this stadium next week, and they'll get a good measurement of how good they are right now, because this Buffalo defense is absolutely overwhelming.
They'll come in here and get a good whipping. That's what they get.
Here's a handoff, and running with the ball is Garrison Hurst to the 23-yard line. John Copeland, a mild ankle sprain, and he is expected to return. They'll retape it, put a tight tape on, and then he'll go right back into the lineup when the Bengals are back out on defense, which, if this game goes as it has been, probably won't be too long from now.
Nothing has really worked for the Bengals today. I mean, their game plan was to hit Dunn over the middle. They thought there might be some things there. Run the ball. They could not do it. They just simply haven't been able to block these guys.
Garrison Hurst, look at that. Running wide, and Hurst is taken and thrown back at the 22-yard line. Gabe Northern, number 99, a terrific young player, a 2nd-round draft choice from LSU. Talked about, when we met with him yesterday, the closeness of this Buffalo team. He said the one thing you sense when you're here as a rookie is these guys expect to win every time they go out. There's that feeling that we're going to win.
The really good teams feel that way. I mean, my rookie year, I was with the Cowboys. We lost 3 games all year. You walk out, you know you're going to win.
third down. Jeff Blake goes to a draw play, and running up the middle is Bieniemy, who's taken down just short of a first down. Got the ball to the 29-yard line. But they're sending their punter back out. Lee Johnson is a very important part of the Bills defense. Phil Hansen, a defensive end, apparently having an injury looked at.
Looked like he was in pain, too.
The Bills have built their team with a lot of players from small colleges, lesser-known colleges, like Phil Hansen. Hansen comes out of North Dakota State. I think he's the only player in the league from there. Well hit punt. Caster from the 15. And he gets to the 26-yard line. So the beat goes on, and the Bills continue to dominate 31-7. Todd Collins is now in at quarterback, as on the first down count today, the Bills have 23. The Bengals have just 5. Collins, who was 2-0 starting when Jim Kelly was injured earlier in the year. Collins, a very good young player in his second year out of the University of Michigan, drafted in the second round 2 years ago. He goes right back to that basic game plan, give it to Holmes right up the middle. Gerald Dixon on the stop. Collins, there was a lot of sentiment here that Collins should have taken over for Kelly after he struggled so mightily against the Dolphins, but Marv Levy knows better. He knows what Kelly has left, and it was really a speed bump in the road for Kelly. He's been back playing good football.
You know, I think when a coach and his teammates also came over to his house, when everybody pats you on the back and shows that confidence, it helps you to get back. He's back.
Here's a blitz on Kelly, on Collins, and they get him as he get rid of the ball. Is he going to rule it a sack or an incomplete pass? So they're going to do to the young quarterback just what the Bills did to Jeff Blake at the outset. Throw all about blitzes at him. Larry Peccatello, the D coordinator.
It's real good pressure there. Bracey Walker, number 27, coming in to make the play. He was blitzing from the top of your screen.
Collins is big, almost 6'5", 225 pounds. Setting in the shotgun on third down and 10. Another blitz comes. Bills pick it up nicely. Now they get Collins as he somehow gets rid of the ball just as he's going down. Corey Sawyer was coming on a blitz, number 23, and he got Collins, and Collins falling forward completed the ball to Derek Holmes, but for negligible yardage, and the Bills will punt the ball.
See Sawyer in a little game with Rico McDonald. They switch paths, and it confuses the blocking.
And this is a rare occurrence in Buffalo as a near sellout going home early, but happy. Here's the punt, knocked downfield by Moore to Carl Pickens. Osler referred to him as almost a Spider-Man with all his moves, but he doesn't get much there, and the Bengals will try once more when we come back. Back to Orchard Park, New York. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. Phil Hansen, defensive end for the Buffalo Bills, with a dislocated finger that apparently is back in working order.
Take a look at the total number of offensive plays, and Cincinnati has been not only held in check, they've been kept off the field. Only 39 plays compared to, and that's really opportunities. Buffalo with 70 opportunities.
Now we have Sean Price in a defensive end. They've taken Bruce Smith out, giving some of the regulars a little bit of rest as Jeff Blake throws up the middle and finds his tight end for the first time today. Tony McGee with a catch good to the 48-yard line. A gain on the play of about 7. Denver laying waste to the Patriots at New England. Denver will go to 10-1 with the win today. For the first time, John Elway in his 14th NFL season has a competent running game and a standout defense, and he's playing as well as he ever has, particularly over the last month. Kejana Carter runs for the Bengals as they too now apparently are looking to take some time off, realizing it's far too much to overcome at this point, down 31-7, and they just not have been able to hit the deep ball all day. The big story in Cincinnati in recent days, and a compelling one, is about Bruce Coslett. He told us yesterday it's hard working without knowing where he's going to be next year. Mike Brown, the president of the Bengals, has not offered him a contract to continue. He certainly is not off the list, but Coslett and his staff are going to be free agents if it's not given a new contract, because Ki-Jana Carter can't hold on. There's going to be as many as 10 openings in the NFL. And Bruce Coslett is going to be right at the top of most lists.
He's in a perfect position. I mean, everybody would want to be in Bruce Coslett's position in their profession at least one time in your life. He'll be able to stand in between 5 to 8 teams if as many head coaching jobs come open as is predicted. That's the ultimate free agent.
But he said he has great loyalty to Mike Brown, who he's known for 28 years since he was a player with the Bengals.
Yeah, he wants to stay here.
Blake drops on the run, lobs it downfield. There's a penalty marker down. Carl Pickens has the ball, and he's heading in if the play goes. Now they're ruling he stepped out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Dale Hamer coming down to see what the back judge ruled on the play. Might have been defensive interference by Ken Irvin, 27.
Number 31 on the defense. Penalties declined. First down.
Ray Jackson is called for it. It was on the Bills.
See, I think this is the one. Yeah, you see all the holding and grabbing. He's holding, he's grabbing, he's pulling. Well, I think that this is what Jeff Blake has to do. I mean, I think he should have done this in the first half. Run around. Use his great ability to buy more time since they couldn't block him, and see if they can create. He has tremendous athletic ability, and I think it should have been used better. Roll out, let his receivers break to open spots.
Bengals challenging for their first offensive touchdown. Here's Ki-Jana Carter turning the corner. But he is leveled and knocked out of bounds by free safety Kurt Schultz, number 24. And the game clock still with a lot of time left. 9 minutes left to play in the game. Ki-Jana Carter coming back from ACL surgery, anterior cruciate ligament in the front of the knee. That said, his times now are as fast as they ever were. He runs under 4.4. From Westerville, Ohio, 10 minutes from the Ohio State campus, and he went to Penn State. That had to be a tough decision. He said they're still mad at me. Blake on the run, fires hard to the end zone, and the ball skips off his receiver's hands. Marco Battaglia. Ken Irvin might have got a piece of the ball.
See, that's the way I like Jeff Blake.
Yeah, rolling out.
Running around, finding time. I mean, the opportunity is here for this to be a touchdown. So you should have had this. Look at that. You got to catch that.
And one of the reasons he was drafted in the second round, and one of the reasons he was a first-team All-American tight end last year at Rutgers, Marco Battaglia, was because he had such excellent hands. Not then. Third down. Bengals 0 for 10 converting third downs today. Needing 6. Jeff Blake goes to the enemy. He's got the first down as he's down to the 3-yard line. Manny Martin makes the tackle, number 21 for the Bills.
Bieniemy is special. If I had Eric Bieniemy, he'd play. He'd play every play. Every time he makes the perfect decision. Look at those skip cuts that the great ones have. Perfect decision. But
terrific blocker, too.
Great blocker. I mean, he'll probably play a long time as that third down specialist and that type of thing. But, boy, I'd use it.
Lob pass to the end zone, and a penalty is signaled against the Bills. Thomas Smith was hand fighting, and that's absolutely a penalty against Smith as he fought Pickens with his hands, prevented him from getting to the ball. It's to be a first down for the Bengals.
Smith is mad.
And watch what he does. I don't know why.
Well, see, that's good play right now. It's the second play, that one right there, because the ball is in the air when he hits him the second time. The first time, he's got the right to do that within 5 yards. The second touch is the one that got him in trouble because the ball was in the air.
Now Ki-Jana Carter comes back in the backfield. Man who scored 5 rushing touchdowns this season. He's the I-back, number 32, behind Jeff Cochran. Another play, same play. Pickens goes up, and Carl Pickens comes down with the ball, but they can rule him out. They are. Didn't have both feet in. Thomas Smith covering him again.
Well, everybody knows that this is what they're going to do. Pittsburgh refused to get themselves in this bump and run position. They played off the guy. Look at that. One. Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, but Carl should have drugged that back foot.
See, they're throwing the ball with first and goal at the 1 because
get the foot down.
The big guy, Washington's at nose tackle. There's nothing happening up the middle. Now they try a run. They get close. Do they get in? No signal yet. Dejanna Carter running, and Ted Washington was on the stop. We still have not seen a touchdown signal of the week, but they're going to signal it.
Yeah, he's in.
Delayed reaction, so Kijana walking off with another ball, which he gives to his mother each week.
That's the only reason I know it was a touchdown. He kept the ball. That's Mom coming to get it.
I saw her last week in Cincinnati. I asked her how many footballs she has. She doesn't know. She's got 6 this year now. This dates back a long time.
She doesn't understand. She's in the wrong stadium for that.
Snap, set down and kicked by Pelfrey. Good. 7:45 to play, and the Bengals now trail the mighty Bills 31-14. Jim Kelly, some ice on. Nothing to be alarmed about. Just icing down some of those hinges late in the game when he's out of it.
And look, I'm 42 years old. I'm still icing down some old NFL injuries.
And they're icing down Andre Reed. He had a great day today, did Andre Reed, over 100 yards receiving. But icing down now, the better to be ready for the Jets next week. As a kickoff comes down, and coming up on it is Eric Moulds. Puts it on the field, picks it up, and down goes. No, he doesn't. He's still alive, but he can go the distance if they give him a block. Then that's it knocked away.
He's trying his best to fumble.
This David Dunn is all over the field, and there's a Bengal knocked out.
Whoever that is, he's knocked out.
So a Bengal was laid out with 7:33 to play in the ball game, and the Bills leading the Bengals 31-14. Very similar to the last time they played 5 years ago in this stadium, when the Bills won 34-16. Dominating throughout. The tone of this game was really set the first time Cincinnati had the ball up. They took the opening kickoff right away. Yeah, Jeff Blake was just under fire.
Yeah.
So the injured Bengal, who was dazed, is being attended to. There's a break in the action. Jeff Hill was stunned, but good to see Jeff is up and all right.
Here's Jeff. You see him coming down. He makes the initial hit on the play, and he's okay. The running back runs out of his body. He turns himself over. He gets up. And then normally, you know, sometimes when you chase a play from behind like that, somebody catches you from a blind angle, and you really get hit hard.
Looks like his teammate accidentally kicked him in the head, trying to jump over him. But the Bills, with Todd Collins at quarterback, go on offense. The ball positioned at the Bills' 35-yard line with 7:33 left to play in the game. But in truth, it was over long ago, as the Bills, with their mighty defense, took command of this game. Bengals were in it briefly, down 14-0. Ashley Ambrose ran an interception back 33 yards for a touchdown, and it was 14-7, and the Bengals play picked up. Soon after, the Bills have built to 21-7 and have come. Here's another interception, and this one could come back for a score. Collins threw this one. Running it back is Jimmy Spencer, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. So it's still 7:24 left to play. It is now 31-20.
No, he didn't make it for the touchdown. But watch this move, stepping in front right here.
He's going to be ruled out at the 9-yard line.
And this is a super run back. And you know what? They're right back in this game if they can score quickly.
So the ball will be positioned just inside the Buffalo Bills' 9-yard line. Orlando got a tip of the ball, number 26, and Jimmy Spencer made the pick.
Well, that's why this is the #1 intercepting team in the National Football League. They score quickly. Got a new quarterback in.
Eric Wilhelm, he throws well. He's a very competent player. Handoff goes to Jeff Cochran up the middle. He's down to the 5-yard line, where Ted Washington brings him down. Game clock now. The Bengals have to look at the clock and wonder, they wish they had more time, as they could be back in this, as you point out.
Well, I don't understand the move of the quarterback. I don't know how you can blame Jeff Blake when he has no time. Maybe they're just looking for a spark.
Just changing pitches. I'm sure he talked it over with Blake before he made the move. Eric Wilhelm takes a look, makes the throw, and comes with the left hand too high. Looking at Keyjana Carter. That brings up 3rd down and goal from the 7-yard line.
Well, you know, maybe the Bengals feel like this game is out of reach, but you know, a touchdown right here, and it's 21-31. There's 6 minutes and 46 seconds left in this game. I don't think it's time to throw in the towel. So they must have made the change, not saying the game's over, but saying let's see if Wilhelm can give us a spark.
But Blake seemed to move the team better in the last possession when he started more of the rollout. At any rate, it's Eric Wilhelm's game now. He takes a look. And Gabe Northern, a rookie, gets his 4th sack. What a first year he's having. He also had the block punt and return for a touchdown against the Eagles in the first quarter last week that tied that game 7-all. The 5th sack of the Bengal quarterbacks.
Northern escapes Joe Walter on the inside pretty quickly. Well, I tell you, that's what a younger man, you know, you get Joe Walters moving hard in one direction, make a quick stop, and get inside him.
Doug Pelfrey now with a 30-yard field goal try, which he knocks through. He's having an outstanding year. That's his 16th successful field goal in just 18 tries. He's the guy that hit the 49-yarder into the wind to tie the game at Baltimore and then hit the game winner a short time later, and that come from behind win.
Well, that man right there, Bruce Coslet, knows more about football in his little finger than I know in my whole body, but I think I'd have left Jeff Blake in there to see if we could get a quick touchdown with that turnover and the momentum, the team excited, and it's a 10-point game with 6.5 minutes left to play.
Absolutely.
I've seen things happen in 30 seconds in the NFL, let alone 6.5 minutes. 10 points. That's nothing. And then, you know, maybe I should shut up because maybe something's wrong with Blake.
Well, that's what I was wondering. You know, if he got dinged
maybe
somehow.
He got dinged or there's some other reason. So
he's over there providing advice to
he seems very happy with the move. So I'll just, like I said, Coslet knows more about this game than I do. So I'm sure he's got a good reason.
Jim Kelly pumping up Todd Collins. They think Collins is going to be a real big-time NFL quarterback. He had tremendous accuracy numbers at the University of Michigan. He's very big, even bigger than Kelly. Here is a kickoff downfield now, and Eric Moulds goes over and fields it. Eric Moulds, who Marv Levy called in summer camp a truly great kick returner, working his way hard back for a 22-yard return, where David Dunn brings him down again.
I'll tell you what, Eric Moulds threw about 15 moves to gain about 20 yards. It's 1, 2, 3.
And this is a big kick
4,
returner.
5.
6'3", 220.
That's nice. Good looking return.
He's going to be a star. He certainly has the potential to be. As the Bills stay with Collins at quarterback, some of those guys with the ice on their knees might be taking that off. They might have to get back in there if the Bengals get the ball back and score. But with 6:07 left to play, the Bills will look to run the clock, and they go right to fullback Derek Holmes, who's worked virtually the entire second half. The Bills down to 2 running backs. They lost Tim Tyndale early in the game with a strained knee. Thurman Thomas played the first half, and now they've gone with Derek Holmes in the second half.
Yeah, Buffalo will be very conservative on this, Jay. They won't line up and throw against these DBs. They are well coached. Ron Meeks is their defensive backfield coach. Picatello, the defensive coordinator. These guys are good, and they've got them picking off the ball, being very aggressive.
Derek Holmes runs the ball to the 31-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and long as Holmes keeps the clock running, but he does lose yardage on the play. James Francis was on the tackle for the Bengals. Game clock ticking down, 5:03 left to play. The core players of the Buffalo Bills, look at the Pro Bowls.
That is amazing.
All Pro honors, Pro Bowl honors. But as yet, no Super Bowl honors, and that's the grail that they seek. 4 times in succession going to the Super Bowl. And they all seem to think that they can get back there if the offense holds up its end and the defense continues to play as it has been. Here's Derek Holmes running on 3rd down. Way short, and the Bills send out their punter. So Andre Reed, with over 100 receiving yards today, checks the clock and the scoreboard, sees his team still has the game well in hand, leading by 14 points. But there are 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play, and Bruce Smith apparently is going to get back in there to chase quarterbacks.
Well, he is a deal closer. You know, he's like a great salesman. He'll go in there and make a big play, swat a ball, make a sack, and then you just collectively say game over.
He's a factor on virtually every play, particularly every passing play. Here is David Dunn back. This guy is dangerous. He ran one back 90 yards against the Steelers. A kickoff that was, but this time tremendous special teams play.
The entire cover team tackled Dunn.
Marlon Kerner was the first guy down to get him, but David Dunn must have thought people came out of the stands and were jumping on him.
I even think the punter guy did.
He did. I think he did. Chris Moore was one of the late people in. Coming up on NBC following this game, a doubleheader game in most stations around the country. Dan Marino and the Dolphins go into Houston to play the Oilers. Most of you will see that. Some will see the Ravens go against the 49ers at San Francisco. Check your local listings for the game in your area. 3:45 to play, and the Bengals down by 14 points. Eric Wilhelm at quarterback, gives off, and running with the ball is Kijana Carter. For not much, and it's Bruce Smith who is indeed back in the game and makes the tackle. Other players shaken up.
It's Ted Washington.
We get a lot of people out there checking Big Ted. He has been just a tremendous asset to the Bills since coming here.
Believe me, they don't want to have to pick him up. They hope he just jumps right up.
350 pounds at least. See Bruce Smith checking him out. When Bruce Smith gives you high praise, you know the guy's good.
Yeah, there's the big guy, Big Ted. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to him. Nice controlling position. Looks like, let me see, who is that? Looks like Jeff Cothran, number 29, fell on his ankle, on his leg. So hopefully the big fellow's okay. He's played one heck of a game here today.
Big fella might just hopefully need a little breather, you know.
Yeah, look at him. He's
doing a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been working.
Oh, he gets a big ovation. I'd like to see what he ties into after a game, Beasley, when he sits down for that post-game meal.
If I owned the restaurant, I'd like to have him over there. A couple of entrees, a few desserts.
To play like Big Ted, you got to eat like him.
No, you got to fuel that body. Look at that.
Phil Hansen now going back in. That's good to see because Phil Hansen went out with an injured hand. So Washington goes out. And with Eric Wilhelm in as the backup quarterback, the Bengals line now. Second down coming up. They need 7. Here comes the rush, and Wilhelm is overwhelmed by Bruce Smith. As the Bruce cry comes out. Sounds like a boo unless you know it.
Yeah. Well, if Now, I tell you what's interesting about having a left-hander face, Bruce, at least you see him coming. So you see Wilhelm when he drops back, unlike a right-hander, he's looking right at the most dangerous position, which would be Bruce Smith coming from that right side. So that's interesting.
And now the final numbers in at New England, a dramatic start to finish victory for the Denver Broncos as they go to 10-1, routing the Patriots 34-8. Long ball. Defense has a play on it. So does the offense as they come down with the ball. Darnay Scott with a deep ball catch at the 49-yard line.
And talking trash. Oh, that's one thing. You catch the ball, then you start talking trash to the guy. Look at this. That's just nice.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, it's the throw, Don. It's high and over the left shoulder where no one can catch it but the receiver. Look at this throw. Look at the throw. That's splendid.
Other scores coming in. Atlanta's defeated New Orleans 17-15. And missed field goal at the end of the game by Seattle, and the Lions beat the Seahawks 17-16. Harry to midfield as Chris Spielman is on the stop of Kijana Carter. So the Denver Broncos heading back west with a 10-1 record and a big leg up on home field advantage in the upcoming playoffs. Bruce Coslett was the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals in 1988 when they went to the Super Bowl and came within one miraculous Joe Montana drive of winning that Super Bowl. In '88, the Bengals led the league in total offense by over 1,000 yards. Another long ball from Wilhelm. Carl Pickens can't get to that one, but the defense can as Kurt Schultz, playing center field, backs up and takes it in at the 5-yard line with 2:21 left to play.
Those are just gifts. I mean, just no one ever threw me a ball like that, Doc.
Another final in. The Redskins beat the Eagles at Philadelphia 26-21.
Nobody ever threw me a ball like this. Up high like catching a punt. Look at Schultz. Every interception I had to dive over a burning building. Look at that.
A time to celebrate for the Bills. Earlier in the season, it looked a little bleak. And now all of a sudden they've gone on a tear. Looking better than ever with what everyone in this organization calls their best defense yet. Now they'll run the ball. Owner Ralph Wilson used to be a delighted guy at age 78 with a team that has a shot to get back to another Super Bowl. He's been the most important person in sports in Western New York, I think. Ralph Wilson has kept the team here. He's built a winner. He's been a great owner.
Look at Schultz. He's going to play free safety, nice and comfortable. He's looking at Wilhelm, reading his shoulders. He read it wrong for a step, but still had time to get underneath it and make a nice little chest catch. And he stumbled all under that one, you know. Jim Kelly was talking about how these guys keep missing interceptions.
Here is the Bills' upcoming schedule. They'll be a decided favorite over the Jets next Sunday here in Orchard Park. Then they go to Indianapolis, where the Colts are struggling, and off to Seattle. That could be a tough date. Seahawks coming out, although they lost by a point today at Detroit when they missed a 42-yard field goal at the final gun. And then it could be a huge game. Kansas City coming in here December 22nd.
Don, I think Buffalo can run the table and then play a tough game against Kansas City. It's up to them. It's up to that man. If they're motivated and focused, they've got the talent to run the table right into Kansas City.
There's no question they do. Ball on the field as the play whistled dead as Derek Holmes ran and lost the ball. Bills apparently are going to keep their offense out, so the play was whistled dead with 2 minutes and a second to play. Bengals are calling a timeout because they'll get another one with 2 minutes, the 2-minute warning. The Bengals, who had playoff dreams, although they wouldn't talk much about it publicly, hoping to do what the 1970 team did, rally from a 1-6 start to go to the playoffs. They have Atlanta next week, then at Jacksonville. Baltimore comes to Cincinnati, at Houston, and then they play Indianapolis.
And see, I like Cincinnati to win the next 3.
They could finish 8-8, which would be an unbelievable achievement for Coslett and his staff.
Yeah, I don't think they could. They're not good enough yet to beat Houston, although anybody can beat anyone. Off of this performance, off of this 4-game litmus test, I hire Bruce Cosby.
Jerry Ostrowski not happy.
Oh, that's a big man to be mad. Wow, look at these guys these days.
Gargantuan.
That's unnatural.
Now you have to be that big.
Well, look at see the breathe right thing on his nose?
Yeah.
They had to get 2 of them.
Yeah. Needs a lot of oxygen. Keep that big body pumped.
You can't get one of those. You can't stretch one of those breathe right things across that nose. That's a big man.
In this case, it might be a bandage. Maybe somebody wrapped him in the nose. You know, those linemen. The ball is positioned at the 8-yard line. Jeff Blake, he'll be back to play another day. It wasn't his day today. This is not a guy who goes away quietly.
No. Oh, no. No, very confident, very professional.
He said receivers, when they looked at the tapes of the Eagle game, the Buffalo Eagle game, Eagles had receivers running all over the Buffalo secondary. Well, the Bills never gave Jeff Blake a time to look over his receiving core.
He didn't have time to think.
He took the snap and then saw Bruce Smith, 78 coming at him, 92 Washington coming at him. The linebackers, cornerbacks, they shot everybody as Derek Holmes runs, protecting the ball and the lead. As we're down to the 2-minute warning here in Orchard Park, the Bills in the lead 31-17. Another workmanlike day for Thurman Thomas as he carried the ball 19 times, gained 78 yards, and scored the game's first touchdown.
When it comes to the all-time rushers, active is Marcus Allen, is Barry Sanders, and then there's Thurman Thomas. He has been excellent throughout his career, and still today when they needed him, he was bouncing in and out, gaining yards. It's a tough man to contain.
I'll tell you, if there's a hallmark of this Bills team, I think it's the closeness of the team. These guys, I think they were really melded together by the Super Bowl defeats, really, and everybody turning on them, and then they kept bouncing back and going to another Super Bowl, then another till it was 4 in succession. They fully planned to be there again. Although it looks like the road to the Super Bowl in the American Conference goes to Mile High cities. The Denver Broncos are going to be on the home field, Mile High Stadium. As with this game now, with 2 minutes still to be played, the Bills huddling at their leisure, ready to run the ball. Gabe Northern looks like he's in some distress.
Yeah, he needs to go sit down. He had some bad sushi, or but he had a heck of a game.
So he did.
Punt and turned it.
That was last week. Today he had the sack, his 4th of the year. David Dunn coming up on the ball at the 40-yard line. And Brantley is right there. This Bills special teams play has been magnificent today. They have done the job. And now the Bengals take it over once more, trailing 31-17. NBC tonight starts with Dateline, followed by the must-see comedies of Third Rock from the Sun and Boston Common. Then one serial killer can terrorize a city. 2 can bring it to its knees. America's toughest cops are going to take them down. Brian Dennehy and Charles Dutton star in an NBC world premiere, Jack Reed, Death and Vengeance. That's NBC tonight. Eric Wilhelm in as the backup quarterback late in the game. Dropping to throw. He's on the run. He's ahead for a gain of 4 yards.
Well, this is an excellent opportunity down for Wilhelm to get a little work. There's your Denver score.
Huge for the Bills in that they take a 1-game lead in their division.
That's big between Washington and Philadelphia.
Well, Washington back on track. Kansas City, people thought they were going into a tailspin, and all of a sudden there they are at 8-3. We'll see them next week against San Diego. The Steelers up to 8-3. Picking a Super Bowl team in the AFC is awful tough outside of Denver.
Wayne Font's hanging on.
Yep, his annual late season survival run. Indianapolis now leading the Jets by 2 very late in that game. Carolina holding to a lead over St. Louis. Carolina's an expansion team, would go to, what would they be, 7-4, I think, if they win today. Yeah. Yep. Still be in playoff hunt. Atlanta wins for the 2nd time this season. Wilhelm stands in. The penalty markers thrown as Wilhelm goes down. Jim Jeffcoat gets a rush on him. Number 77, the former Dallas Cowboy, with 43 seconds left to play.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 77 of the defense. 10 yards. Previous spot.
What you're going to see is just simply a bull rush from Jeffcoat right here. Just lines up, runs as fast as he can into the guy. And look at the right hand. The right hand is up in the face, and you can't do that.
Not and get caught.
No, you can't do that and be noticed.
And so the Bengals are ready now to line up as they'll position the ball with the penalty mark off close to midfield with just 43 seconds left to play. Eric Wilhelm was hit one deep ball to Darnay Scott, and then was intercepted, you'll remember, by Kurt Schultz on another deep throw. Will be launching long very shortly, like right now. Keeping two backs in to try to block for him.
I'd like to be a safety in this situation. Just drop back deep and run under it.
Wilhelm takes the drop. Here comes the rush. And down goes Eric Wilhelm. They're going to really was sacked by Jim Jeffcoat. So guys building their number today, building their stats. Penalty markers down.
This is stats time.
Markers down way back in the Bills secondary. 7 sacks today for the Bills.
Holding. Number 31 of the defense. 5 yards. Previous one. First down.
Raymond Jackson called for holding.
So he loses that sack.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Well, sometimes there's bonus money involved with that.
Well, listen, man. I had 9 interceptions one year. A kid slaps a guy in the head. I would have had 10 and led the league in interceptions. That's just, so that's killer when you lose a play like that.
You went and slapped him in the head.
Well, he was a little bigger. I just went and said, don't do that.
Let's see what Eric Wilhelm does with 36 seconds to go. Here comes Smith. Lobs it up. Eric Bieniemy's on the run. Weaves his way down to the 31-yard line with 28 seconds left to play.
I tell you, Don, I would have to find out whether or not Eric Bieniemy could play with that same bounce for an entire game. I'd have to feed him.
Remember, it's a doubleheader day on NBC. On most of these stations, you'll see either the Dolphins and the Oilers from Houston or the Ravens and the 49ers at San Francisco.
At Miami-Houston would be a fine football game.
Both have to have it as we get down the stretch run of the season.
Absolutely.
The Bengals just used their last timeout as the ball positioned at the 32-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Wilhelm coming over, getting the play call from Bruce Coslett. Pretty obvious what it's got to be. Start pitching towards the end zone. Down by 14 points. So here come the Bengals for one last shot at it. Now they can get a few plays off in 26 seconds. Wilhelm unloads to the end zone. The high ball. He's looking at Darnay Scott, who's a leaper. The ball is tipped away nicely by the Bills defenders. And with 19 seconds left, the Bengals will be ready to fire once more to the Bills end zone. Manny Martin getting up. He was one of the guys that defended the play.
Here it is right at the end, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Be in front of the receiver and up, and they shouldn't catch it. See how they're flicking with the ball up in the air? That thing bounces straight up. Someone should spike it like they're playing volleyball. Number 21 should spike it. I mean, he should run into that thing like a madman, Emmanuel Martin. Just like he's playing. Oh, my goodness. He's hurt himself somehow, but he's the second guy in. The second guy in. The first guy in should shield the wide receiver. Second guy in should play volleyball.
4 o'clock games are underway. Miami and Houston are now fully underway, doing battle down in the Astrodome. Baltimore has taken an early lead at San Francisco on a touchdown reception by Michael Jackson. Testaverde with his 24th touchdown throw.
Michael Jackson, I have him in my fantasy league football team. So we're in motion.
A lot of people get a lead on the 49ers out there, but holding it's another thing. There's a good team now, San Diego. We'll see them next week at Kansas City.
Yes.
Here come the Bengals with 19 seconds left to play. 2nd down and 10 coming up. But in truth, it is 2nd down and 32 because they're going to be shooting at the end zone from the Bills' 32-yard line. Wilhelm caught from behind. Bruce Smith.
Guess who closes the deal? Guess who closes the deal?
Who else?
He's like a hot shot salesman in a major corporation. He'll close the deal, baby.
He comes so fast.
Wow.
He's got a sack and a half today. He has 10.5 for the season, but the sack and a half barely indicates the greatness of his play, as he really is. Every down has been a factory.
Well, he leads the league in sacks now, depending on what the other leaders did today.
Yeah, if Alfred Williams got one for the Broncos at New England, he was the leader with 10 coming in. Eric Wilhelm might want to think about taking a knee rather than take another shot from these guys.
Or finding a white flag somewhere.
Bills came in as a touchdown favorite, leading 31-17. Wilhelm steps in. There it goes to the end zone. Final play of the game. Somebody caught it. It was a Buffalo Bill. Looked like Matt Stevens got it.
Fabio.
The man they call Fabio. And so that'll do it. The Bills win it 31-17. Once again, our final score: Buffalo 31, Cincinnati 17. For Beasley Reese, this is Don Criqui saying so long from Orchard Park, New York. You're watching the NFL on NBC.